Hello and welcome back to The Voice of the Realm. We are the pretend podcast that's been casting Realms Collide to the Burning Darkness. Today we're breaking character a bit though, as you might notice that our sign is also slightly changed as well.
Bit. Our live, laugh, love sign.
Our live, laugh, love sign is only a Via Peru sign, and there's a reason for it. Today's a very, very important day for the nation of Peru. And we just like to share a message with our Peruvian followers. I will first say it in Spanish, and then I'll have Seek and Strike say it in English. So, para los peruanos que lo están viendo, muchas gracias por seguir el stream como siempre, pero hoy hay cosas más importantes que hacer. Como sabrán ustedes, los de 4D no estarán casteando esta partida por respeto a la situación actual en la nación de Perú, donde muchos están saliendo a las calles para luchar por la democracia y para intentar conseguir un país más justo para todos los ciudadanos. Hoy hemos decidido castear para intentar internacionalizar el problema, ya que queremos que gente de otros países también sea consciente de lo que está ocurriendo en Perú y que os muestren apoyo de esa manera. Pero aún nos mantenemos y nos sentamos en solidaridad con nuestros compañeros de 4D que han hecho una acción muy valiente el día de hoy, decidiendo no hacer su stream para que la gente salga a la calle. Si eres peruano, te recomiendo que hagas lo mismo. Salgas a la calle como indica 4D. Y si no lo eres, pues apoya a tus compañeros peruanos, porque ahora mismo es un momento muy difícil para ellos.
Yes, and then just the message in English for all of our non-Spanish speaking audience. 4D, the organizer of the tournament, is not covering the tournament today in Spanish, despite probably the Peruvian team, beastcoast, being in it, so it's kind of a big deal. There's currently a political crisis in the country, and democracy is currently at stake, and the citizens are out in force and trying to reclaim it. So we support, Alvaro and I support those fighting for democracy in Peru, and we hope that everyone stays safe out there doing their civil duty. And yeah.
And we stand in solidarity with 4D.
We do. We do, yes, indeed. And we wanted to just let everyone know about that going on. You know, we're a real radio show here, obviously, so we have to get political. But now we are also a Dota radio show, right?
Of course.
And with that very important message out of the way, why don't we get underway with our draft for game number 1?
Indeed. So let's go with game number 1 now. We have for today Midas Club versus Beast Coast. It's a best of 2. We only have 2 games today because the first game got moved. Unrelated, by the way, to what we just spoke about. Just complete chance.
It's true. Yeah, just got moved.
Yeah, exactly. This was the decision they decided to do today. But Midas Club and Beast Coast are going to be playing in the first best of 2 today, and then we have Infinity versus Quincy Crew. Let's see. Until now, Midas Club, they've actually been showing some promise in the open qualifiers in Europe. They actually managed to meet some of the teams that I personally didn't think they could beat, honestly, because there were some quite strong stacks in Europe. But Midas Club showed them that the Brazilian power is still very much alive. For those of you that don't know, Midas Club is playing currently from Europe. Mm-hmm. They always ask to play in US East because they have better ping there. And honestly, as someone who's used to live in Europe, it's like 100 ping to US East. It's not that bad.
Compared to... Again, and if you're American or maybe European, you go, what? What is this? You play with this. If you're Peruvian or Brazilian, it's...
Honestly, the ping from Peru to US East is also 100 ping, more or less.
So that's generally what they play with. And the ping from Peru to Peru is sometimes 150.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's just the way it is.
It's the worst server.
We bring this up not to make fun of it, but just as an explanation. You know, I used to be puzzled by it. You know, Alvaro didn't play in American servers. I did growing up, I guess. When I started playing Dota. You left the balcony door open, by the way. But
on purpose?
Yeah, okay. But yeah, that's why there's a lot of Spanish-speaking members in the USC server specifically for that reason. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it should be really fun here. Beast Coast, they are off to a fantastic start this tournament as well. Midas Club, I think they've drawn one of their matches before.
They have, yeah. The only match they played. I'm pretty sure they drew. Yeah.
But here we go. Already the draft underway. We're going to see them pull out the Chen. Interesting. Chen against... What was picked first? What was picked first? Probably the Chen and then the Ench to counter it, right?
So that means that it was... Lena chose first this round, which means that Enchanters chose first.
Ench first. Okay, so the Chen to counter. That's always fun. They just steal each other's creeps. Yeah. Remember the TI5 short contest where they were converting each other's creeps back and forth, and the Mud Golem was like, no.
And it used to be that back then there was not like a limit to Holy Persuasion. You just gave him extra health, so you could actually have like a golem that would reach, I'm not kidding, like 2,000, 3,000 HP, just based on the conversion constantly. In fact, a Chen used to counter the Enchanters because Chen, of course, could keep the creep forever, and so he would just wait for the Enchanters to use the enchant. can't retake the creep, and then he would have an even stronger creep every single time. Very smart though. Honestly.
I also miss the days of Chen blocking like the stairwell
I
at the
remember
bottom
that.
radiant tier
And you'd have
one,
like 8
and then you would
lanes of creeps.
You would have 8 waves.
8 waves of creeps, yeah.
8 lanes of donuts. But yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, Beast Coast line up right now in general Spur Breaker. I'm surprised by the Spur Breaker pick. I've seen it a bit in North America as an off laner, not so much as a position 4. Not really much of a combo right now. They do play him as an offlaner. They pick up the Kunkka as well relatively early. Oh, and what's surprising to me is that they pick up a Kunkka against a Storm. Storm is traditionally considered a soft counter to Kunkka in the lane because he's a melee hero. He has good stats and he can outlast a Kunkka. It's not like he beats him in lane, like I said, soft counter, but he ignores the X marks the spot in the mid game. It's super easy to avoid that. But even if you can even go for Yule Sitter as you're really threatened, right? If the Kunkka happens to be amazing. And on top of that, in the lane, you usually do beat him like just by a bit. So it could be Whisper's Kunkka. He does play the Kunkka in the offlane still to this day. They might be thinking something like that. And you see the Bad Rider ban. So again, they're banning potential flex picks for the mid lane.
I think that makes sense. I think they know that they wouldn't really want to draft Chris Luck into a mediocre matchup, to say the least, right? Because again, Kunkka can recover, Storm can recover, no matter what happens there.
Yeah, they're still useful. Like it's
Right.
a matchup you can play. It's not like TA Huskar, but it's definitely
Sure.
not ideal for you.
But I think Chris Luck excels on a hero on the mid lane, especially when he can get a little bit of a faster start.
Yeah, when you give him a bit of space, when his lane is relatively easy, or when something like that, it's much better for Chris Luck. I agree. But Beast Coast might just be playing with the last pick idea, right? They might be picking here something like Pango, for example, like he put in the mid. And I mean, I'm not saying Pango necessarily this game, but I'm saying like something that can be put in the mid and the off lane. Yeah, there's the Pango ban. Okay, so they were thinking about that, and because right now that way you avoid being countered in the mid lane, right? Especially if you pick something that's relatively decent against Storm. Like an option, for example, would be DP. DP is a hero that can be played in the offlane relatively successfully. It really depends on the carry, but most of the time.
That used to be, I think the last time we really saw her in Forest, that used to be one of her favorite lanes, or the position 4 DP as well.
Position 4 DP, especially as an answer to Spectre. So
Yep.
it could be an option here that they run. We'll see. You can even go for like Legion, for example, honestly. There's like a lot of options here that Beast Coast could do.
I actually would really like the Legion.
Leshrac.
Okay, so they're gonna define it a bit
He's
more.
still a bit of a flex though, because Whisper does play the Leshrac offlane much more often than Chris Luck does. So we're still seeing a bit of a flex on the Lesh Kunkka, but it's what we're talking about, right? We're not really clear which one's gonna go where. For now, it's clearly the Lesh, right? Because Lesh beats Storm. But if Midas decides to do some shenanigans with Storm, you're gonna surprise them with that. Because they have last pick. Midas needs a carry right now. Lesh also prevents things like Terrorblade, for example, which RDO loves.
Holy moly, it's a good Yules game. I think everyone wants a Yules. How many Yules do you think this game?
PA.
Maybe 6? 6
Okay.
Yule Scepters?
Interesting choice to go up PA. I think this definitely means you go with Lesh mid. Right? Now that I see the PA. Oh no, I'm actually going to run the Lesh off lane. Oh, thank you. In the Kunkka mid. Okay, interesting choice. Lesh against PA is not the worst matchup in general, but it does suck a bit if you don't tank up enough because you can't really withstand the PA. Against PA, you really need the Yule Scepter. You really need the BKB relatively early to slow you down. You can really avoid her. You might even need to go Ghost after this game just to deal with a PA slaughter lineup. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of siding with Midas here. I think their ref seems much more solid. I don't like that they didn't really flex the Kunkka, because Kunkka is also pretty decent against PA in lane. I don't really like that they didn't flex the Kunkka too much. I'm not too confident in the Lesh pick, even if he is... Because the Storm and PA can both kill him in the offlane, right?
Yeah.
I'm not really sure.
I think the Lesh is going to have an easier time at least. Maybe it's going to be one of those win the lane scenarios against a PA. Because before the crits online, it's not really a whole lot of kill potential with the Chen PA. You're not going to kill her probably, but you can harass the crap out of her as the Lesh. So I think Beast Coast, they got some really strong lanes here. The mid lane is a little, I agree with you, not too confident in it. I think Chris Luck's not going to have an amazing time. Neither will Mandy, though. So we'll see how this one's going to go as we're going to get underway with game number 1 here in just a bit. We'll be back. Hello everyone, welcome back here. We're now live in game for game number 1 here of our first of only 2 best of 2s here today, as we did have a reschedule, but it should be 2 very good games indeed. Seek and Strike here on the call with you. Alvaro will be joining us shortly as soon as he remembers to join the TeamSpeak server. And then we'll be getting right underway here between our first match, Midas and Beastcoast. And there he is, right on cue. So we'll be getting underway. Hector on the PL. What are your thoughts on that? Tell me about him.
The battle begins.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, Hector's played PL a lot in the past, actually. I'm not too surprised by this, honestly. Or Hector, sorry. Hector, goddamn Americans. H is silent. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's fine. I've seen him play PL a lot before in the past. He's quite comfortable with a hero. He farms really fast, as he usually does. I don't think Hector has a hero that he can't really play, to be honest with you. His pool is quite vast. Though I do find that this game is going to be a bit tough. Both PA and Storm can be quite strong against the PL. Storm, it depends, right? If you really diffusal blade him and destroy him, if you stop him, for example, early, then Storm does suffer against PL a bit. But if you don't manage to do that, then Storm does have a lot of area damage for the PL. You can also go for an Axe, which is great against PL illusions.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. Is this better?
Yes, there you are. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. My game went down on my girlfriend. And the PA can go for Battle Fury this game as well. So it's a pretty decent game to deal with PL. Like, I wouldn't say he's a hard counter to anything here. The lane, though, is quite nice for him. I don't think PL suffers too much against Slardar, right? And he can also harass the lane a fair amount. So they're trying this now. Stinger. Life Striker, right? I don't know.
He's
able to get the skill, actually. Yeah, nice body block. He gets to the courier, though, in the process. Sexy Fat, the second bash. Is only the best level 1, though. That's only 75 extra damage. Yeah. Unfortunately, not enough. This is a lane where Sexy Fat should consider going for an Orb of Venom as opposed to Ring of Protection. Because there's not much harassment from the enemy team. And the Orb of Venom would allow you to get an early kill and Enchantress stopping her.
Yeah, they just needed a little bit more move speed on the Lina there, unfortunately. I mean, ended up getting blocked by creeps that were ended up chasing the Ench and could not get in range for the second LSA. That would have secured the kill there on the Stinger. Just a bit unfortunate there. But no first blood here early on. Already a minute and a half in. Slightly surprising. Not really too shocking. Just given how much early kill potential we do have. Both mid laners just about going. Actually, Mandy getting a crap ton of denies here. You can already see level 3 is a really big power spike for the Storm Spirit because you do this combo and you do a crap ton of damage. Chris Luck already not having a very fun time. Probably wishing he had that bracer just a second earlier to save a bit more HP with its 3% magic resist. But it's okay. He's got to sell.
It does not have magic resist. It just gives you regen now.
Oh, oh my goodness.
Yeah, you're really living in the past.
I really am. I thought it was still like 3% now. I thought Ice Frog was like, okay, 3%. No. It used to be like 7%.
Yeah, when it first came out, but now it's HP regen, so it's a
moot
point. It's a moot point.
Thank you for correcting me. I don't know why I thought that. I don't know why.
Not everyone can be a good caster.
Well, you know.
As Reddit proves. Chris Luck, I don't know. This is a difficult lane for him. I already mentioned it, right? So I think this is the best that you can really muster. The Kunkka starts evening this matchup a bit, I think, once you get like level 5 or so. Because then Tidebringer has such low cooldown that even if you don't win the lane, you can just go into the jungle. And, I mean, you can play aggressively. Mandy, he is playing with his better stats, though. Look at the Tidebringer damage, pretty high, but not enough to kill Mandy. Let's not forget, Storm's base armor is absolutely amazing. It's one of the reasons, actually, why Storm is so good against the Kunkka. And the top lane, Enchantress also in trouble. Stinger might die to Amin. Nice Life Striker to guarantee the kill on Stinger and secure the first blood. Mandy will kill himself, though, in the middle lane.
Yep. Yeah, they were both getting real close there to death. No, you're right. I mean, to your point about the Kunkka. Kunkka usually excels in not excel, but he usually excels in matchups against other range or melee heroes. Storm, while he is technically ranged, he's got a pretty crappy attack range, and he needs to get close to really do all of his damage with the remnants, with the vortex, right? Does need to get up close and personal. Plus his attack range isn't all that amazing. So Chris Luck does have that advantage at least. But Mandy, after killing himself underneath the tier 2 tower, does have full HP and mana again. To Chris Luck, no bottle here. Of course, he can always just do this. Chris Luck going back home. So be careful here. Chris Luck, if he dies within the next minute, he's not going to have TP, which could be very, very costly for him. I do expect to see Mandy play very aggressive here, just to see if he can burn through that HP and mana he just got.
Yeah, we'll see. Chris Luck has been doing, like I mentioned, a pretty decent job of keeping Mandy at bay, harassing him nicely, using his power peaks well. Mandy is also similarly playing with this lane really aggressively because he knows he can take advantage of the Storm against the Kunkka matchup. And honestly, I think both players are doing a really good job here in the mid lane. They all go for the rune. It's Amin who takes it instead. Dispelled immediately by Stinger. Otherwise, Stinger could have been dead, so well played there by Stinger.
Not very nice enchant there.
Still
Lightstruck
no.
Array though barely grazes him. Wow, and Amin continues to harass him, punishing him for taking away his double damage.
Now the Ench is pretty fast, but Lina now with 3 stacks of Fiery Soul is just as fast here. So Stinger is maybe in some trouble, but it's just going to probably be harassed out. Still has 3 stick charges. I mean, baiting though? Stinger, no! Stinger, no! Oh, he got greedy going for the ward, not expecting the Lina to still be there. Not only does he get the kill, but he's also going to be able to get a D ward to boot. So that's really going to end up hurting, I think, the mid lane game. Although I think Amin just warded under vision as well, so he returns the favor. Okay. Fascinating. I guess Amin did not check his inventory. Maybe they don't know about the ward then.
It's okay. For now, it's bounty rune time. I wonder if the mids are going to rotate. Yeah, Mandy will be because he has a bottle. The Kunkka has full bottle, so there's no point in him rotating for the bounty rune anyway. And with this bounty rune, he should be able to get to level 6 relatively soon on the Storm. He might even go for a gank. Oh no, he's actually going to take a stack. Nice. This is very smart because this stack allows you to get level 6 while in the jungle, so the enemy team can't really prepare for this. And this might allow you to get a kill on Hector, for example. Hector in the top lane, by the way. Strong bash. Second bash is ready for Sexy Fat. Here it goes. Bash! And with this, the kill.
DED dead, indeed. I'm surprised that they're not actually able to get anything down bottom. Scopefield on the Spirit Breaker. Spirit Breaker, not a bad lane support because he is naturally the tankiest hero in the game in terms of raw HP. But he's just really not able to get much done here versus the Chen. It tends to be the case. And we don't even have a point in Penitence. I thought for sure it'd be an early point in Penitence to really stop charges here, or not really stop them, but now they're going to be going here onto RDO. Oh no, they missed the Split Earth. All right, well, he's out of there.
Yep, that's it. RTO is not farming great though.
No, he's not.
PL is still beating him by a fair amount. The lane is really strong. Electric Spirit Breaker, and unfortunately, there's not much Chen can do against this lane. So, as we expected in the draft, it is going to be a pretty strong lane against them. It's more in the mid game when PA has
Top
an advantage.
lane,
Stinger in the top lane. Yeah, he's got easy killing spree here for Amin. Taking a good advantage of this Lina, but in the bottom lane, they also catch RDO, and he will die, punishing the fact that the Duster is not really in the lane with him, right? He's picking up Chen creeps in the jungle, and while this is something you need to do, you have to be really careful of when you do this, because Whisper, with that ball key, can just burst down this PA super easily.
Yeah, you definitely need to be farming here, and the mechanism really a key item for the Chen, but not at the cost of letting your core die, like, ever, right? Some would say rule number 1 of playing support, don't let your core die. Of course, he knows what he's doing, but just a little bit. It's a hard lane as well, right? Whisper, just a guaranteed stun pretty much by the Spirit Breaker. No way for RDO to dodge this one, even with a Phantom Strike, right? Spirit Breaker is going to chase you down until either he's dead or until you're dead. And then he's still going to continue chasing whatever is closest. That's how much he wants to chase you, right? He's like a dog when you play fetch.
Nope. Another kill against Stinger. They're really taking advantage at least of this top lane. So Starter's getting good farm, and he might be able to play as Space Creator. Duster, though, in the bottom lane. Nice Split Earth here, catching RDO and finishing off Duster thanks to it. They might be able to kill RDO, but here comes Mandy with every reinforcement. While they punish Whisper, will get the kill onto Whisper. And hoping to punish Schofield as well. The TP comes by, though they don't have Electric Vortex. A lot of damage from Mandy, but just a bit off from that kill.
Just shy of the damage. I mean, level 4 Overload, right, with a level 2 Remnant, still is a crap ton of damage.
Yeah.
Look at this, super efficient. Look at Mandy's like, hey, I'm going to go farm this camp. Pick up my bottle for me, please. Thanks. You want to get that refill? They have lost the mid tower here. Amin does well to rotate on over and at least deny it, but that's the mid tier 1 tower already down here. 8 minutes into the game, we'll call it, right? And against a Kunkka of all people, right? Not a Dragon Knight, not a Exorcism, and now he's gonna be able to freely rotate top, where they also have Schofield charging here onto Sexy Fat. Amin has TP'd away. Sexy Fat though quite fast. Schofield has no charge here. They do, however, have the enchant. Boat's incoming, but Sexy Fat is just gonna. Oh no, it still hits him surprisingly. He's gonna have a Slither and Crush. Nicely dodged out by Hector, however, as he continues soaring into the trees, wasting a lot of time of the 4 heroes here. Hector's blocked himself with the Doppel illusion.
They got a kill.
And there's Amin now with a DD rune. Again, just continuing to pick up kills here on the Stinger. Schofield still hunting in the trees, but he's not going to find anyone. That'll be that.
Amin literally came in and went, enchant me now, bitch, enchant me now!
Yeah, pretty
and
much.
just took the kill with a double damage. Well played, honestly. You wasted a rotation by Chris Luck. Don't get the kill on Sexy Fat because his jukes were amazing as well. And Mandy even finds Schofield in the middle lane. He activated the bulldoze. That's going to help him a lot, but the damage from Mandy is so high.
Wow.
Even he can't outrun him.
Okay, I thought for sure he wasn't going to get that. I was like, nah, he's going to bulldoze away. He's going to miss the Remnant damage. Nope, still got the overload attacks out. Well played. Well played there. He knows his damage.
That is Yeah, not gonna lie, the Storm is dominating. Mandy is a bit of a monster this game. He's playing really well. You've secured both your space creators, which is Slardar and Storm, a pretty nice early game, honestly. Just need to now give that space to RDO and transform it into farm. Going for Whisper here. There we go, with a Penitence. Whisper should be dazed. Split Earth is avoided by Mandy.
Yeah.
They're still charging RDO though, so they want to get this kill regardless.
It's gonna be
I
hard.
don't know how easy it is. Storm blocks this initiation and realizes there's people coming by. They lose the explosive spot to the Storm. They do hit him with a Torrent though. Mandy could be in trouble first as the charge hits the PA, but Schofield's been slowed down here by the Penitence, making sure he can't proceed to kill off the PA.
Yep.
Nobody dies here.
Penitence is a really good ability to have for this game, actually. It's super value. You have a lot of really fast people here on the side of Beast Coast that you want to be able to lock down. A lot of them thrive on their movement speed, of course. Well, 3 of them, right? Both supports as well as Whisper. So that's all basically 3 backliners that really rely on their movement speed. So not only does Chen, of course, have his amazing heals, but you also have that really, really good spell that, of course, grants additional attack speed and not an insignificant amount of attack speed at that. 120 bonus attack speed at level 4 for a PA on top of you with a Battle Fury against Hector? What? How do you live? That's going to be so difficult here. No Battle Fury yet, of course, but RDO will be queuing one up.
Of course, you need to have this
Yes,
game.
the problem is they are losing a lot of the map control. This is, in my opinion, naturally going to happen when you're playing against a Spirit Breaker, when you're playing against Ench. It pairs very, very nicely with the Kunkka, who kind of wants to go for these early kills with Axe, Boat, Torrent combo, and obviously he gets just amazing vision courtesy of Schofield's charge. So they are going to be losing a bit of their map control just because of how vulnerable their supports are without items like Lina and Chen. Okay, Mandy's still continuing. He's, the Stinger killing spree, however. He's going to go bottom for a free kill. Stinger, you got to be a little bit careful here. As Mandy's getting a lot of farm off of you now. He's actually already got the Orchid up. No boots, by the way, as they will not be delivered. Just a naked Orchid.
That's pretty good though, I think, this game. Because you had such a good lane. I mean, that's Naked Orchid, minute 11 though, is ridiculous.
I agree.
As you mentioned, he only has the Coffee Boots together with the Null Talismans to give him a bit of the Mana regen. Very useful to Storm, and he's playing a bit the role of a Space Creator. I think what Mandy's doing that's really smart is that he understands that RDO had a really bad lane because of the Leshrac. He understands that Chen couldn't really do much there. And now, well, not only is he punishing the Leshrac with that silence, can he kill him though?
Yeah.
Yes, he does with the
Soul
Orchid,
burn.
perfectly calculated. So, oh, is he going to go for Schofield as well?
he doesn't have
Mandy,
the
do you have any
mana, I
chill? He's running out of mana. Here comes the Enchantress. Mandy might be playing a bit too aggressively
Hector's nearby.
here. Even the Kunkka was thinking of rotating, but they cancel his TP in the top lane. Nice Dark Array. They hit Chris Luck. Chris Luck's alone. They're going to finish him off.
Mr. Stomps!
But at the
Meanwhile-
same time, though, the Storm will fall in the bottom lane. So it's kill for kill. Not that bad, though, for Midas, as they still get a mid laner in exchange for their own. And Mandy already got that kill on the Leshrac.
Yeah, but
I would
look-
still say unnecessary play, though, by Mandy.
Yeah, but look at what Hector got out of that one, though. Yes, not bad, because you do get the kill on the Chris Luck, cancel his TP, ruin his morale.
Yeah.
But you also ended what was, I think, a 4 times killing spree, and the gold goes to Hector, which is a bit scary, for sure. He's going to be even closer now. That's half of the blade, half of one of the... Oh my goodness, that's half of one of the blades of Alacrity here for the Diffusal Blade. There's a lot of qualifiers to that statement there, as Hector is going to continue just farming it up. But yeah, that's a bit silly out for Mandy to try and go on the Spirit Breaker. Bulldoze is a really good spell to have here against the Vortex. Makes it pretty much negligible almost, right? Just like a little Avalanche mini-stun. But good job here by the off lane. Still laning together here, 13 minutes of the game, pushing to tier 2. A lot of tower push here early on. Everyone just trying to take map control. And they will force rotations as well. The charge still going for Amin. As we have the Chen creeps nearby. Here comes Schofield, Amin. No, okay, he's going to stop. Mid lane, though. They are going to be fighting. Mandy, again, getting a kill there onto Whisper, but yet again, he's going to be completely out of mana. Chris Luck then going to turn and fight onto him as, well, he's going to need a bigger HP pool to deal with that Shark. Top lane, I thought they were going to go back again here onto Stinger, but he's now got the Untouchable, so he's not super vulnerable, or as vulnerable, I should say, to the Slardar and the Storm.
Okay,
Just kidding,
Stinger.
RDO kills him.
Yeah, RDO kills him relatively easily, but Schofield goes back in. Okay, using the Bulldoze to make sure the course doesn't last too long on him. Schofield, they still see where he is. There's everyone around. They already took the tower, though, so they can just retreat now. If you're Midas, that spot will catch Amin. Amin doesn't want to die here. Oh, he was surprised by this. He wasn't expecting for there not to be a torrent when he was sent back. Schofield dies to Duster. I mean, still being chased by Hector.
Here's Whisper.
Duster wants to give him some space. Whisper finally joins Sexy Fat, creating space for the rest of his
Good
team.
bash.
As a hand of God, saves Sexy Fat. Also gives him a bit more time for Sexy Fat and RDO to bring down Chris Luck, ideally. But Chris Luck a bit too tanky, perhaps. Stifling Dagger. There's the bash. Slithering Crush sets up for another kill. As they find Hector in the backlines, Mandy also gets it, and that ends up being a team wipe as Enchantress died in the beginning of the fight. Well played there by Midas.
Yeah,
honestly, they're playing out of their mind.
They really are. Hector was, he really wanted the Lina there, but without Diffusal, he doesn't really have the damage necessary. Sure, the attack speed's pretty darn high, but Lina's no wimp here either, to be honest. Of course, the no talisman's really nice to have for that. I mean, 2 extra strength, whatever, right? But just the magic damage as well that she's able to pump out constantly as Schofield is charging to get closer. Mandy as well is very easily and quickly able to jump onto Whisper, get the kill there. And yeah, I don't think Beast Coast, their team fight is just kind of as scrappy as Midas's is, but Midas are just way stronger right now here, given their heroes. And they're going to get stronger even as we now have the mechanism completed on Chen.
This is looking a bit scary now for Beast Coast because the mechanism also allows you to now take objectives much more reliably. Until now they had Hand of God is killing, which is already nice, but with mechanism and Hand of God, good luck trying to beat this team in a 5-on-5 engagement, honestly.
Yeah.
You even have an Ether Lens on Amin, which I love, by the way. I mean, I think the Yols was kind of a necessity this game for the Lina, but I get the Ether Lens as a Lina support. It allows you to initiate from much farther away, which is important. And Sexy Fat, I like it. He understands that the early game went a bit too well for him. He needs to make use of it, so he's going for much more of a carry build with drums into Echo Saber to make sure that he can man-fight, well, anyone, really.
Yeah, Kunkka, though, he's going to be going for that disarm, which is going to be really nice against the Storm, against PA, against, well, basically everyone here, but he might be in some trouble as Mandy rotating on over. I mean, from the low ground, and that he is a very dead there. Of course, the Soul Burn is going to be claiming the kill, but they had plenty more damage to spare, and now they're going to be going for a quick Roche here. With all the minus armor now onto Roche, sitting at -9, he is going to be as good as dead here.
Even let's mention now, Battlefield is available on PA, so she's going to start to outfarm the PL, or should start to outfarm the PL, and she can also fight him quite reliably. At least Beast Coast is taking advantage of this time, trying to take the tower down bottom with a catapult, but in comes Mandy, the madman! This goes against Whisper, a bit too crazy though. Mandy might die here
it's a bait.
as the impetus is hurting him. Oh, as you mentioned, it's just a bait. Stinger doesn't have enough damage to kill him, and Mandy will survive, guaranteeing the kill onto Whisper and Stinger, because they believe that he was out of mana and vulnerable. But that Kaya also helping him out a lot, to deal extra damage.
Yeah, that Kaya, not to mention the little bit of armor from Arcane Ring maybe coming into play there, to be honest. Two armor on a Storm is nice to have this early on. I mean, Duster as well, he had Hand of God. There's no way he was going to let Storm die there. That was absolutely a bait, and beautifully played there. He was going to be the first to rotate over. Shortest TP, everyone else TPing a little bit further behind the tower, out of vision, and they immediately punish the rest of Beast Coast for trying to get a tower out of that. Oof, the game is looking pretty difficult here for Beast Coast for sure. Just because if this continues, Midas can kind of just deathball. They're not the fastest pushers for sure, but they're just they have so much to stay, and they're pretty darn tanky to boot with a really nice frontliner. And Sexy Fat might just get they're just going to walk up to Whisper. Nice charge there. We'll stun up too, but the in here going to continue the action as Schofield bulldoze trying to run away, but Mr. Stomps is going to catch him out from Duster. Chris Luck needs to do whatever he can. The boat's already been dropped though. Duster now getting gone on by Hector, who still does not have this diffusal blade, so the damage is not quite there. Stinger now getting dove as they will at least get the kill onto Duster, but Sexy Fat in the meantime will now make a dive onto Schofield. There's the kill there. Mandy underneath the tier 2 tower though. He really wants Chris Luck. RDO is now in the fight as well. They need a little bit more damage. The dagger, the crit, the Hadouken, it's just shy of 50 HP, but RDO, he's insane. He's going onto the high ground. They don't have a tier 2 yet, folks. And Hector, oh no, Mr. Stomps, they're both going to end up missing here, as well as the LSA. RDO still fighting on the high ground though, but with the tier 3 now beginning to chunk through him, they're going to need to back off. Hector continuing to fight here. Manticile is up. He's able to at least get the minus armor off of him, but Stinger, this fight is going so long. Even Whispers respawn now. They need to get back. This is way too much damage. Just the Hand of God. Sexy Fat trying to do whatever he can to draw the aggro, at least allow the rest of his team to escape, but here comes Schofield now. The bulldoze, he is fast as heck here. Turning, has no mana for an LSA, however, he's as good as dead as they lost Aegis as well. Mandy is still fighting back here. They have gotten the kill onto Whisper. Hector in trouble. They're going to turn. What?
now there's only 2 supports here against the 2 cores. It's too difficult. Stinger, yeah, with a Phantom Strike, your Untouchable is not so great anymore. He does purge him off. Nice Stinger, good enchant. Mandy avoids the charge. Schofield regrets his idea to charge here. Mandy's almost out of mana though, but he does get the final hit. There's the ghost ship though. Mandy might finally go down. But RTO continues to fight, not even informing Duster of his intentions. He now has to get away with 1 final Phantom Strike. Chris Luck does have the X mark the spot, but a bit too far off. Duster, do not go in. You bet.
Okay, so
Midas did like 5 fights in a row there, but it worked out for them.
I would call it literally 3, to be honest. Literally 3 fights. Just a bit of hyperbole out from Abu, but yeah, to make the point, 3 fights. They started that fight by killing Whisper, and then Whisper was dead in that fight. They kept going. And Whisper respawns, and then they kill him again. They also kill the Ench twice. They get a kill into Ector. I think like 8 total kills in favor of Midas, and they only lose Chen, Marana, Mandy, Aegis. Actually, they all die as well. But they come out on top. RDO technically dies, but with Aegis, so he's still good to go. And yeah, I'm surprised. The Battle Fury build is... We've seen this a bit before, haven't we? Remember with the Lifestealer fighting with Battle Fury, actually still chunking through people. And I think this game, just the team backing up PA, who doesn't quite have the amount of burst damage because Battle Fury doesn't give you as much damage as a Deso. Well, now that you have the Deso, though, it's a bit scarier. She's still just surviving so long in these fights that her damage output is still enough. It's incredible.
Yep. And the Desolator now is going to, as you mentioned, add a lot to her damage. It's going to be much easier for her to fight these next engagements because she just freshly got it. The Battle Fury in this game, though, is just so valued because of the PL that, I mean, the extra farming is just a plus this game. It's just such a good item, which sucks because you never want to make it so that PA can conveniently go for Battle Fury ever. That's why you pick Magnus and the hero, because you don't want to get that item on her. And look at this, single crit already decimates Chris Luck. Granted, it was with Corrosive Haze level 2, so still fair amount of damage added there. But
we do have, however, a big item for Ector, and he's now got Manta Diffusal, so...
Okay, that's a big deal. That's a big deal.
He's got items.
He can finally fight.
He can finally fight, that's correct. He's been fighting before, and I mean, he's kind of had to, right? I mean, what choice do you have when they're diving your tier 3 tower? But we do have another big item. The Guardian Greaves for Lush. It's no good as having a Chen, of course, but a little bit of extra heal. And a Dispel for yourself might not make you just food for Mandy, at least, on the Storm Spirits. But the game is definitely looking pretty hard here at this point, at this stage, I should say. That's okay, though. Still winnable. The team fights are going to be kind of all scrappy. That's what they're going to look like all game here, because no team really has like this big AoE team fight control. Really, charge is going to be the best thing here for Schofield to try and use to really control a bunch of people here. So we'll see how that can get used this game, as the rest of Midas Club will now head bottom to push tier 1 tower.
Okay, the smoke, perhaps going down bottom to Beast Ghost.
Yeah, there's the charge.
Sorry, for Midas. The charge into RDO, a bit dangerous, huh? He's not the Phantom Strike. Nice Torrent, though, to start for the charge. RDO can't avoid it. They hit him with the Xbox the spot. And also with the Ghost Ship, but the healing is too high. Sexy Fat starts to create some space for the team. As in comes Mandy, stops the Nether Strike.
Oh, they really
Sexy Fat is still being chased out by this PL, but gets a nice little Slither Crush before he dies. Everyone in Midas TPs, and this is all because of one simple thing: Sexy Fat's sacrifice. He took the aggro from Ector for so long that he allowed his whole team to leave. So yes, Beast Coast well played, really good initiation, but still impressive performance there by Sexy Fat on the Slaughter.
Yeah, I was surprised that when they wanted to turn that fight, Mandy, he's going to be setting the target here, right? You can kind of think of him as the reticle. Whoever Mandy's going on is going to be who Amin follows the damage up. It's going to be who RDO, well, RDO not really, right? But it's going to be who really the rest of the team want to kill. And he decides that, okay, we've already seen a charge out from Schofield, and we've seen the ulti used. Let's try and kill him now. And they wasted Laguna on him. They used Orchid on him, on the tankiest hero in the world, with Whisper as well, just able to heal him up, and he was totally fine. And they didn't get any kills. But shout out to Sexy Fat. He perfectly tanks the gank, as you said. Didn't have a Blink Dagger anyway to try and help RDO secure the kill to whoever RDO was diving on. But a good fight by Beast Coast, definitely.
Yeah, and this might be the start of them coming back into the game. After all, we know Beast Coast. Beast Coast does not need to have like 3 cores super farm. They really just need Ector to be farmed, because they usually play around him anyway, right? So here is Ector's kind of matching the PA in terms of farm. Not bad. He's starting to regain his items. With a Basher, he'll be able to man fight the PA a bit more reliably. he's even going to go for a Silver Edge this game on the Phantom Lancer, which, by the way, was not Hector's idea in this case. The Silver Edge was very popular in China back when Phantom Rush first got introduced. That's when they started experimenting with Shadowblade Phantom Lancer as its first item, and it was quite popular. This game, though, of course, to break the PA blur, but it's still a very valuable blur.
Yep, breaks Overload too, less relevant, of course. But you will break that one, and as well as Slytherin Crush.
You mean Bash. Great, you mean the Bash of the Deep.
Yes, thank you, Bash of the Deep. Even though they're both. Yeah, I remember. One of the funniest things I've heard you say about Dota was when they renamed all of Slark's abilities from.
Slaughter.
What?
Slaughter, not
Yeah.
Slark.
Oh, sorry. When they renamed all of Slaughter's abilities from like Sprint, Bash, Crush, and what is it? Damage Amp to all these fancy
Oh, no,
names.
Slytherin Crush was the fanciest name he had. And then the other one was just, like, one was just called Amplified Damage. Anyway, yeah, Mandy.
Mandy, the boat incoming. He should be dead, although they have the Chen to try and heal him up. They
Bloodstone
nearly
too.
bash him down to the low ground, and now
Oh my
I
god,
think he
Bubble
is.
Bash! Oh, unfortunate.
He died to fall damage there, unfortunately.
Shen didn't have the Hand of God there. It was literally 1 second off. I don't know if beastcoast calculated that. Very well played, though. Duster gets hit by the Torrent. Double stun, but it's not really going to help. Shadow Amulet, pretend like I'm not here. There's a center in front of you, dude. But okay.
Yeah, he didn't know about that, unfortunately, even though. That's
Oh,
unfortunate.
I mean, the target. There is a Leicester Array, but a bit too late. He actually went for the Axe build as opposed to the Yosef, which makes it much more vulnerable. Yeah, zap him all you want, but it's not enough, you know?
Yeah, not enough. 700 pure damage. Again, Schofield, he is a tanky lass. Or a boy, I should say. Yeah, I mean, that was hilarious. You had Duster's bodyguards trying to protect them there, the two Mr. Stomps. And, no, we will die for you. Oh, the Torrent still hit you from a mile away. If not the Torrent, it was going to be the X-Mark. So lots of different ways to kill Duster there. But yeah, this is going to be now Beast Coast time to shine. You know, the Empire strikes back here, as they're going to be looking pretty strong for these next few minutes. Hector's continuing to farm. He's now got a Basher up to contend a little bit better here with RTO. Ideally still looking for that Silver Edge, however, as you said before. Heaven's Halberd completed as well for Arkunka. Is this a Lotus coming to him now? Let's see. No, it's the AC. Wow, already a full AC done. So a little bit of armor buff for his team to try and contend with the damage amp, as well as that Desolator. It's not going to be enough, but every little bit helps when in terms of minus armor, because the damage amp is insane when you start getting into minus armor territory. So that is going to be really helpful here. But yeah, Midas have not really been able to string together a fight they've been looking for here since the Diffusal has come up onto PL. They're looking to try and go for Roche. They just need to be a little bit more patient because he's about to respawn. Duster's got a creep there to now scout it. And that'll be Aegis and Cheese here on this second Roche. And they're going to waste no time. Directly into the pit they go.
Yeah, it's the smartest choice to regain control of the map, right? With the Aegis, they should be able to... this time I think they should give it to Mandy so he can go a bit ham like he's done a couple times. Oh no!
Beautiful
Schofield
charge.
just discovered it! I don't know if that was even on purpose, but he does find it. But he doesn't get the Aegis on time. Almost calculated that perfectly though, Schofield. Impressive.
Yeah,
They
that
give
would've
Aegis
been really
to RTO. Not... I don't love this, to be honest. I think the PA is not the target that's like that important to Beast Coast. I really think it's been the Storm every single time. They're constantly trying to stun lock Mandy, right? And Mandy's not even going for a BKB, so the Aegis I think might be more useful for him, but okay.
I agree. I think Aegis is always just really valuable on Storm, especially early on when he has quote-unquote mana problems, right?
Yep.
I mean, he does have mana problems, actually. I don't even know why I'm putting quotes around that. But he does have mana problems early on. That's the benefit, right? He's got Cheese, which is fine, but I think you want to give him Aegis so he can kind of play really crazy without his BKB. He can afford to kind of die behind enemy lines. Because guess what? You got great counter initiation. You got a Slaughter now with a Blink. You've got Amin as well, who can LSA from afar. RDO, who can blink in. And Phantom Strike in, I guess, not a Blink. And yeah, RDO, he doesn't care. He's got BKB now. That's basically already an Aegis for himself there. 10 seconds where he doesn't really, he can just shrug off whatever Beast Coast have for him. So I agree with you. I'm a bit surprised by it, but maybe this is just how they like to play everything onto the core and allow him to go for the damage, as he is now level 20. And that's the spike they're going to be taking now to the fight. Chris Luck, we've seen this one play out before, right in the same spot. He will end up dying, dead for 69 seconds, which is not very nice for him. He's going to have to sit this one out for another minute.
No, let's see. They did give him the Cheese at least from Mandy, which at least I enjoy, right? So it's not like he's completely helpless, and the Cheese can be like the Cheese is traditionally a bit better on Storm, especially if you're winning, because you can use it whenever you want to play offensively. I just find that this game, Beast Coast has proven multiple times that they can catch him easily, right? I also think that maybe the Shivas, while I'm okay with the Shivas pick up this game, you might want to consider also a BKB. Right, the BKB this game seems quite valuable, considering how consistently Beastco has been able to catch up to you as well.
I would have rather seen an Ags, I think, this game out for Mandy, to be honest, than
over
the Sheep Stick.
Shivas?
Yeah.
not Shivas.
Shivas, thank you.
Yeah, I can see that too. Maybe the thing is, maybe the axe is still useful. You pick up a bit later, so that's maybe why he's thinking of Shivas. Shivas will, if you want to pick up a Shivas this game, it's definitely only gonna be useful for the next like say 10-15 minutes, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Then it falls off a bit, so maybe that's why he's comfortable like just picking up the axe later. And I'm okay with that.
Sure, but
the BKB is more of a concern.
What's confusing to me, though, is I'd agree with you if he had Aegis on him, because that means then they're gearing up to fight for the next 10 minutes, at least 5 minutes guaranteed.
Right.
But here's Aegis on RDO, right?
Yeah.
So that means RDO is going to want to join these fights. He's not, I mean, this team is smart. They're not just going to have an Aegis on their core and he's going to farm the jungle. That's not what we're about to see. He's looking to maybe finish off the Basher. He needs 200 more gold, and then they're going to go. So that's why maybe I would have liked to see the earlier power spike item, right? Yes, the ACs, or the Shivas is great for the armor and the minus attack speed. No contesting there, but I don't know. I feel like the way they geared up, it's maybe they could do better with the Ags, but we'll see how it works here for Mandy. He is playing a very, very strong game here. 12, 5, and 6 on him. Dying a little bit more frequently now as we progress into the mid and into the late game. Definitely in the early game when he was kind of just terrorizing the entire map, but we'll see here.
Now let's see RDO though, seems fine with this, and no problem. Ignores the Kunkka completely, goes for the tower instead. The PL's already TPing though. Oh, nice, they discovered the TP, which means free information
God,
here.
Scofield's so
RDO
fast.
still has the Aegis, but look at Mandy just walking in and catching on the PL. Beautiful electric vortex to keep him stunned. Can they kill him in time? They just need Slithering Crush. Split Earth saves his life there with a ghost he was set up. And they're just chasing after PL so they can finish him off finally. Hector will finally die, but his team behind him just fighting against the guys on Midas. The Remnant, Slaughter and Lean are already
Mandy's
down.
on mana.
RDO's coming in. Mandy is forced to TP, but he already gets stopped with the Torrent. He used the cheese, which means he can no longer regain any more mana. He's at the mercy of beastcoast, and they'll guarantee the kill.
Oh, he still has
RDO, though,
Aegis.
is still a big problem here. They forced the buyback on Whisper. They have no more healing for RDO. Remember, he also has an Aegis. He'll come back full HP. No buybacks here on Midas. Duster will certainly lose his life before they go for RDO a second time, and he can't even get a kill because they used the Heaven's Halberd, which guarantees the second kill on RDO. The second kill.
There it is.
Kill on RDO. There we go.
More evasion procs than anything there. I think that was the most evasion I've ever seen in the world. Wagner's, yeah, full team wipe there here for Midas, plus losing the Aegis. I'm surprised that fight went so poorly for them after they actually scouted the PL TPing in. But my goodness, Schofield with a beautiful charge right there, just kind of interrupting that entire plan. He flanks them perfectly and kind of just disrupts the whole plan to immediately kill Hector. Then they try and go instead onto Schofield, and he just runs away with about 100 HP in the middle of the fight as he is going top now for Sexy Fat. Bulldoze, he's going to be in some danger. Stinger's nearby, though, to dispel the sprint at the very least. Another Corrosive Haze. Whisper as well in that fight did a bunch of damage, as we're about to see. A beautiful charge there. Schofield sending up both. Split Earth will connect onto Amin, I believe. Not really too sure. Either way, they're going to get the kill onto him, so it doesn't really matter. And again, Schofield, he has just proven to be too darn tanky for them. Spider Legs is such a great active for him.
Yeah,
Radiant
he has been really
structures
been
are
helping out this
fortified.
game until now. I like it very much. The General Spiritbreaker has been a pretty solid pick. We questioned it a bit in the early because I haven't seen it in 4 in a while. I've only seen him in position 3, but it's been working out really nicely for them. It was clear that their idea of just kind of charging the PA and like not stepping off the gas pedal and constantly putting pressure is working against Midas.
Yeah, I think a reason it's really excelling this game is... I'm trying to think of how to explain this without just being the most vague as possible, because I almost just said everyone needs to attack someone here and they need to be positioned properly, and Spirit Breaker destroys that. But like that's kind of the case here. Like we don't have like all the spells that we have on Midas are all revolve around them attacking, compared to something like a DP, like an Enigma, like Whisper, for example here on the Lesh. He doesn't really need to be attacking. He kind of just walks around and does a bunch of damage, right? That's not really how it works here on the side of Midas. They need to be at proper positioning, especially on like literally all 4 of their heroes besides the Chen need to be properly positioned to do damage in these fights, and that's what Spirit Breaker does best. He destroys enemy positioning. He is by far and away the best hero in the game at doing this.
Yep, indeed, that's true. And he also has anti-BKB tactics as well, so it's very difficult for you to just arm yourself against Spirit Breaker, right? They're really, like, you have to get a Lincoln, essentially, and even that's not good enough. So that's a really good point that you mentioned. And Schofield, as you notice, his team fight presence has been changing, right? At first, he was
Yes.
just the first one to charge in. Now he's waiting for Whisper or Kunkka to set up for him, and then he's going in afterwards, which, as you mentioned, disrupts the team fight a lot. I mean, the last team fight, what I kind of wanted in the team fight was that split Earth, which completely stopped the Slithering Craft from Slardar, which forced Mandy and RDO to both push, with the BKBs particularly, into the enemy high ground, and that's what crushed them. Right?
Yep.
Sexy Fat could have killed the PL. He just was stopped by a beautiful combo of Split Earth and Ghost Ship. Honestly, really well played by beastcoast there. They really have things clear.
I think it is save for ultimates, so I'm not counting like Centaur with Stampede or Earthshaker with Echo Slam, right? Because I think that's cheating. And I want to be right here. I think Schofield, or sorry, make that Spirit Breaker is by far and away the best casual counter initiator with charge. And, he is just able to really just get so much work done with it. And yeah, I think that's why Midas is focusing so much on on him in these fights. I kind of questioned it at first, but now that I've had this sort of realization that he's going to destroy their positioning and then they can't do any damage, I think it makes sense that you need to really get rid of him as soon as possible. And that'll get a little bit easier once you do have this Abyssal, but Bulldoze is just such an annoying ability here. Schofield perfectly positioned here again to break a smoke. If they're going to end up walking up high ground, breaking all the trees so his vision is unobstructed. Midas playing it patiently, though. Do they have a ward up here? What are they? They just know. Oh, there's the scan. Okay. Smoke on smoke, however. Beast Coast, we might see a little bit of a clockwise rotation here around the map. As instead, Midas will go counterclockwise here. Perhaps get baited by Hector in the mid lane.
Let's see. This is a interesting smoke. I like that Midas is not wanting to lose their high ground, right? Because they know it's so important. Schofield might just reveal the smoke by accident.
Not yet.
His is not revealed.
Stinger broke smoke.
Oh, Stinger broke the smoke.
Yeah, but that's
Schofield,
good.
there we go. There's the cross haze. Can they kill him in time? No, Spider Legs again, giving them the life. The Ghost Ship will hit the Storm. They keep him stunned for now. They Glimmer Cape, but it's not enough. They keep him stunned.
Wow.
Mandy cannot get away, and that's a win for them as they also go for Duster next. Duster without mana cannot heal his team, and Duster will fall together with a Slaughter. You like water? Here's a whole torrent of it. Sexy Fat is forced to sprint himself to safety, but Hector has no chill. Continue to go for a mean. We even have the charge for the PA, ignoring her, going for the towers instead.
Yeah, and Sexy Fat, he is going to live. He does make it home, but at great cost to their team. Yeah, they're having some pretty serious problems right now. They just can't really stand and deliver here like they want to. Hector's a really big problem. He's a bit too mobile. Boat is just constantly locking down Mandy, which they kind of depend on being able to just, get around Schofield and do some damage onto these backliners. But right now, Beast Coast just have free reign in these team fights courtesy of Schofield, as well as Chris Luck in that fight. He's really doing a great job there to keep him locked down. Whisper as well with the stuns. It's a really good game from Beast Coast. They're recovering beautifully here.
Yeah, this might be closing in the game, honestly. Whisper's even rotating the top lane so they can ensure they get a tier 2 here. Like, yeah, it's not game. They won't be able to get many creeps yet, but it's getting very close to it. Midas needs to win the next team fight or this game is going to be over.
Yeah,
we even have Silver Edge on Hector now.
I was about to say, that might be the nail in the coffin here. Roche is going to be, it's a slow Roche at least, which might be good for Midas, as it's going to give him time to at least respawn their Storm Spirits, but they're seriously having some big problems here in these fights, and it's not going to get any easier. Solar Crest up on our Ench, as well as the Lotus Orb, so she's got a lot of survivability and is just quite annoying. I love this item from Schofield. I was going to recommend he go for this instead of the Yule Scepter, and he is. He's going for the Aghanim Scepter, which has changed. I don't even remember what the Ags was before, if he even had one, but now it's on Charge of Darkness. It reduces the cooldown to 6 seconds, so you're just constantly charging, which is by far and away pretty much his ultimate, as his ulti's got a 1 minute cooldown, which has use, right, but it's just a BKB piercing stun, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Are we charging on Sexy Fat? Is Schofield insane? Schofield's crazy. Oh, Schofield. That Spider Legs is working so well for him with the Bulldoze. They fucked up, dude. You don't fall for the bait from Schofield. They're going to turn this starter into sushi.
Yeah, they did their homework, right? They were always like, oh, Schofield, he always runs it in feeds, right? So we can just chase him? Not this game.
Now, you never know what Schofield's doing. This man's a mystery. Like, you try to read his mind, and you never know. Is he feeding? Is he doing the best play of his life? Is he baiting? And that's why he's playing Spirit Breaker goes so well with him, honestly.
Yeah, I was going to say, because, I mean, especially with the frickin' Spider Legs, he's just way too fast for them. Yeah, they're just, with this mobility, he's just getting way way outplayed here by Schofield. He's just leading them right into the hand of the enemy team. He's like, hey, I'm going to pretend to charge you. Don't chase me, XD. And then they chase him. I told you.
The most Spanish thing in the world. XD, XD. They're chasing me, guys. XD, XD.
XD.
Yeah.
And then they say, guerra.
No, they don't say guerra. They go, ga. And then
They go, ga.
Actually, apparently, beastcoast told me a while ago that their chant is they go, fresh, fresh. And I was like,
Fresh.
is that just a chant?
They
go,
still
"Yeah,
like fresh, huh? Because you always tell me that, you know, due to the cultural juggernaut that America is, you know, it just kind of bleeds into every other culture, especially in the American continents.
Yeah, it's very funny
that
they don't speak
use-
English and they still use fresh, fresh.
They just use like American words sometimes or American slang like fresh. But what does fresh mean to them again?
It's from a rap song from Peru where the guy goes like fresh, fresh, like something is like, you know, it's actually very similar to like the colloquial version of fresh in American English.
Okay.
You know, like something is fresh, something is cool, something is like swag, whatever.
Something is swag.
It
It's
is.
my favorite.
I have swag, dude.
Well, you know.
Wait, what's the word? The newest word? It's on fleek. That's the word.
That's absolutely the newest one.
Californian.
That's the newest one, Alvaro. That's absolutely right.
I haven't used it before.
That one is the newest one. You also YOLO is really hot right now.
Shut up.
YOLO is super hot. Everyone is saying
I
it.
am Spanish. What do you want me to know about
Alvaro,
your
have you heard
American
of this
slang?
new song? Everyone's singing it. It's called Gangnam Style. Definitely check that one out.
I'm a big fan of Gang.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, they're gonna go for the tower in the top lane. You're a twat. And the tier 3 seems to be falling quite fast, honestly, with Whisper and Hector. He's not level 25 yet, though. He doesn't have the maximum doppelganger. However, we do have level 25 on Konka with the axe, by the way.
The fleet.
Oh, the fleet. On Fleek Stinger.
Oh, the
Abyssal Blade him to bring him back, but he Abyssal Blade RDO as well. Whisper might just catch Sexy Fat, though. They get the Hand of God this time on Duster. He's finally out of mana. Can they kill him off? They will. The PL will finish him. And the Torrent Storm catches RDO. No more BKB for this man. He cannot survive this onslaught of Torrents.
He's alive.
But he does save himself just barely with one last second Phantom Strike. Where did he even go? The Storm can't even find him. Oh, there
I
we
mean,
go. He went
where
for
did he
his
go?
face.
Where did he go?
Blinked the Storm.
Yeah, courtesy of that level 20 talent.
Level 20
Hector?
talent. They do take away the Aegis from the PL.
15,
But
sorry.
I don't
Cast range.
think it's that big a deal because
But
he's
they've got
got
baited.
double. He just got level 25, by the way, Mandy. You also have to be a bit careful. Abyssal Blade is available. They just have to go for the illusion first, which is not the target. A bit debated.
Schofield, no,
They
it's the wrong
even
one.
use the Greater Bash on it. Mandy, though, gets stopped by the Yule Scepter into the Splitter Torrent. Can they take away his mana? They cannot. He ball linings back to safety, while Amin will be the scapegoat of this engagement. And Hector's like, guys, we gotta center. Focus on the racks. Take the melee racks first. Now for the rage. Mega creeps are about to come out. And Midas has been unable to take away these pesky heroes from their base.
They have. They're going to be making another attempt, though. There goes Whisper. He's going to be blown up. RDO, BKB, Magic Immune just running at Chris Luck here, but Hector looking for the break, has one, and the Abyssal Blade as well on Mandy. The Torrent Storm not catching him, but it will catch RDO only once. They need a second one, maybe. He's got the Phantom Strike away to safety, but they have Schofield to chase him down. Dead for 100 seconds. No buyback. We still have a Storm with a level 25 talent here who can hold for a crazy amount of time, but it's going to be quite the challenge here without the BKB. Schofield perhaps in some trouble, cannot dispel the silence, so he will now be dead. Hector and the rest of beastcoast are looking to now try and escape. Mandy, though, oh, no detection there. Hector very lucky that they didn't have a ward, but Mandy completely out of mana here. Needs to sip on his bottle, gets broken over by the Silver Edge. Hector trying to fight, needs a +1 though. Here's Stinger and Chris Luck now joining the fray, and here he goes, dead for 100 seconds, but he has the buyback, immediately respawning, going out for Duster. Hector trying to bait him around with all the illusions. They haven't found the real one. He is disarmed, but here he is. Now the Vortex onto Hector, and the bash to kill him down. Looks like now Stinger's gonna have to pay for this one, making Mandy real slow with the enchant at least, as well as the untouchable, but they will eventually touch the deer.
4 catapults are taking your tier 4s right now, literally. The catapults are finishing off,
Thrones
and your
exposed.
Ancient is completely exposed, as you mentioned. The Mega Creeps are coming at you. Just because you won this fight does not mean you have won the game.
I mean, I wouldn't say they won the fight, to be honest with you.
No, it's true, you're right.
Because they, you know, Dota inherently is about objectives, right? And they lost a lot of objectives, short of just the one that'll actually lose you the game, right? So a tough fight there, a close victory there by Midas, unfortunately, but they are going to be against Megas. Gem on deck here, by the way. Just chilling there. Gonna do some good there on one of these heroes. Perhaps maybe even on the Storm Spirit instead of Boots or even the Bottle at this point, just so he can chase down people.
what's the way to get back into this game, though? I mean, with a PA in Battle Fury, I'm not gonna lie, it's not impossible to beat Mega Creeps. Like, it has happened, particularly with these kind of heroes before. Mandy, I don't know what you're doing, though, brother. Brother!
What I was going to say was PA Divine Rapier, right? That's how you get back into this game.
Yeah, it's the only option. I think it's the right choice.
That's been queued up. Also, a BKB on Mandy, please. Lincoln Sphere, that'll stop them from killing me. No, it will not. Boat. Torrent Storm is going to completely wreck you. Now we have a second break here. One on Kunkka. Schofield as well is going to completely wreck you still with this because he can now charge every 6 seconds, and he doesn't need to charge you directly, and he can still break Lincolns globally. There's a lot of problems here with not going for a BKB on Mandy.
Yeah, it's a tough game, I think, for Mandy. I thought that the choice to go for the Shiva's Lincolns afterwards, I would have much rather he went for the BKB this game, honestly. Into maybe the Axe, as we mentioned, and played a much more, I guess, defensive utility Storm. But it worked. I mean, this was his choice. I think that also Beast Coast was a bit. They just kind of recovered out of nowhere, to be honest. Kunkka was not supposed to have this ridiculous amount of farm, and Chris Luck just found it this game despite being losing for the majority of the early mid game. So yeah, we can concentrate on Midas, maybe not itemizing as well as we'd like, but I think that Beast Coast also played out of their mind.
That's true. Yeah, I don't mean to discount that at all. You know, generally when I feel like when casters talk like this, what we're always saying and what we're implying is, oh, they decided to go this way, and maybe that's good this game, maybe that's bad this game, but the other team, and this is the unsaid part, they played around this well, right? So they reacted to this well, and they're taking advantage of whatever it is. Dota is a decision, you know, because there's no real cookie cutter games or no cookie cutter builds like any other games, although your Ancient's under attack, guys, there's a lot of flexibility in terms of items, right? Which really makes the game, which gives the game rather a lot of its depth. So there's different ways of reacting to that and whatnot. So that's generally what we're talking about. We're not saying, oh, that's the only reason Beast Coast are winning or anything like that. But, you know, it does have effects here on the game. As Mandy trying his best here with the level 25 talent to keep the creep out of the base, but how long will it last? There you go, immediately onto Chris Luck. Oh, Abyssal on Abyssal on Abyssal, and there's going to be now another stun onto RDO. His BKB duration running out, looking to try and retreat. Oh, the crit onto Chris Luck, though. He's already out of the fight. Hector, though, out of the backliner. He's going to get the kill onto Duster. Throne exposed, though, with creep hidden it, but Sexy Fat as well has now died. RDO is dead. A charge into the base. Schofield, are you okay? Yes, he is. He's got, of course, the flicker to get out just in time. Hex, but just for a mere second, as now you're thrown under attack. RDO continuing to try and fight, throwing the dagger, finds a bash as well onto Whisper, but he's dead. Throw in the towel. Hector with a triple kill here. He's going to get another one onto Amin. Make it 4. That's going to be game 1.
Okay, well, game 1 ends. We have a little announcement for game number 2, by the way, which is kind of important but in this.
Okay.
The second game of Midas vs. Beast Coast will not be playing. Okay, we'll explain what Chris Lecter said in a second, by the way. The second game of Midas vs. Beast Coast will not be played because Beast Coast wanted to play one game in Peruvian server, one game in US East, and Midas refuses to play on the Peruvian server, so they're just going to give the def win over to Beast Coast. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So now these things happen. So the second game won't be played, which is why instead of doing the announcement as we expected to do it in the beginning of the second game, we'll just say it now. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So for today's stream, we just have a small announcement. I'm going to speak in Spanish and then Seek and Strike will translate because this is quite important. Amigos peruanos, compañeros, escúchenme un momento. Muchos estarán aquí porque no hay stream en español para este torneo, bueno, para estas partidas actualmente. Este torneo lo organiza 4D Esports y ellos son el stream oficial. La razón por la cual nos están cubriendo el día de hoy es como un día de luto, como un acto simbólico para que la gente salga a la calle a protestar. Es un momento muy duro actualmente para Perú. Es un momento donde la gente está luchando por su democracia. Y aunque hayáis conseguido una pequeña victoria, aún queda mucho por luchar. Apoyamos a nuestros compañeros, yo y mi co-caster apoyamos a nuestros compañeros del 4D en este día de luto y hemos decidido castear en inglés solo para internacionalizar el problema. Tenéis todo el derecho del mundo a seguir escuchándonos aquí, pero os pedimos que hagáis caso a los de 4D e intentéis apoyar también a vuestro país, ya que han hecho un sacrificio muy grande para conseguir eso.
Yes, indeed. Enough for the non-Spanish speakers. 4D, you may notice there's a lot of Spanish in our chat today, and that reason is because 4D, the tournament organizer, is not casting or not covering their own tournament today. The reason is because currently there is a battle. The Peruvian people are embattled for their democracy, and there's a lot of protests going on right now, so they encourage people to instead watch the stream and go out to protest and fight for their rights. Alvaro and I stand in solidarity with 4D and the Peruvian people and support the cause. And so we thank you guys for tuning in, but we hope that by casting the tournament today and raising the issue that you guys can be aware of it as well.
Yes. And without further ado, we're going to take an hour break because obviously the matches will still start at the scheduled time. Beast Coast and Midas 2 will not be played, so you can stay on the channel if you want, or you can do whatever you want, honestly, with your life. If you want to research on what we just spoke about, we would recommend you do that. It's always better to stay informed. And we will be coming back with the next best of tour today, which is going to be between Quincy Crew and Infinite.
Yep, that'll be going live in about, with the delay, 40 minutes from now here.
Yep.
So stay tuned for that, guys. You can strike an Alpha Plus on the call for you for the Realms Collide 2 tournament. We'll be back after a short break.
Hello, and welcome back to the Voice of the Realm. Usually, we are your little Dota program, the little Dota podcast, to cast the games from Realms Collide 2 to Burning Darkness.
Radio show.
Yes, the radio show, of course, because we're better than a podcast. That's why we have the albums, that's why we have the sign and everything.
True.
But as you might notice, today our sign looks a bit different. It's not the usual live sign. It has Via Peru. That is not due to our bias, or not only due to our bias.
Wow.
It's actually due to something much more important than that. That's why we're actually breaking character here just to deliver some important news. Since these news are particularly important to our South American viewers, I am going to say them first in Spanish, and then my good friend Seek and Strike will translate them in English for anyone who is not a Spanish speaker. Next time we'll get a Russian guy as well, because we have too many of you in chat. Anyway, so, amigos peruanos, si están viendo este stream es seguramente porque no pueden ver el stream en español, en castellano, perdón, ya que no existe. 4D el día de hoy ha decidido no castear las partidas como una muestra de solidaridad ante el pueblo peruano, que ahora mismo se encuentra en las calles peleando por la justicia y por la democracia. Ya habéis conseguido una pequeña victoria con la dimisión de vuestro presidente, pero aún no es suficiente, y eso es lo que opina también 4D. Nosotros aquí en el stream en inglés conocemos el problema y tenemos mucha empatía hacia el pueblo peruano. Hemos decidido streamear para internacionalizar un poco el problema, ya que no todos nuestros viewers vienen de Perú. Pero si tú vienes de Perú y has venido aquí solamente para ver el stream en inglés o para ver las partidas, te recuerdo que hay posiblemente cosas más importantes que hacer ahora mismo. Estás bienvenido a quedarte, pero también te invitamos a que intentes informarte sobre lo que está ocurriendo en tu país actualmente. Tanto Seek and Strike como yo nos mantenemos en solidaridad con 4D Esports y con todo el pueblo peruano para que puedan hacer una transición a la pura democracia.
Indeed. Now for the English viewers or anyone else that doesn't speak Spanish, 4D Esports, the tournament organizer, is not streaming today their own tournament, and because of the political situation currently going on in Peru. Currently, the Peruvian people are embattled for their democratic rights, and there's a lot of protests going on. So we were joining the Peruvian people in solidarity here, and
he means
Seek and Strike and Alvaro are the two casters here in front of the camera, are with the Peruvian people, and support them in the battle for democracy, and wish them their best in the safety as they continue on their trek for their rights. And and we thought it was important to still stream today, just so that we can raise awareness for all of the people not in Peru or that don't know about what's going on. And with that message with that important message now being stated.
As an ending note, just we ask if you don't know what we're talking about, that you can just seek to inform yourself right now. It's always good to remain a bit more informed and support those that are suffering currently from bad management.
Yes, it's true. As we are going to go over to our game now, Quincy Crew versus Infinity Esports. Our draft is already underway. It was the opening pick here, first pick of the Wisp for Quincy Crew. And that got countered pretty hard here by the Ancient Apparition. So it's still a core Wisp, though, it looks like. No, mid-snap.
Well,
probably.
It's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell.
It's a bit of a flex.
Yeah, that's true.
As you mentioned, though, really nice counter there with the Ancient Apparition. Stops the Wisp and plus partner, right?
Yep.
The core Wisp is much worse against the Apparition. And even support Wisp is actually annoyed a bit because you can reduce the healing. Ancient Apparition is also pretty decent against Spectre in general, because anything tanky, Ancient Apparition deals with quite nicely. And the Chilling Touch is also good harassment in the lane, so you also get secure lanes, which Spectre hates, because if you dominate the early game, Spectre has nowhere to haunt to and get kills. The rest of Infinity, though, I'm not loving as much. The early Ember pick might have sold him out a bit. I know he's a bit of a flex for these guys, which is why it's kind of okay. I know they can still play him as a 4 position, but you have sold out your mid relatively early. However, the response of the Underlord and Troll Warlord, the cores are looking really nice, though. The Underlord is perfect against the Spectre, really good against the IO as well. Actually, quite nice against Earth Spirit as well.
Yeah.
And the Troll Warlord, he's a hero that can out-tempo the Spectre. That's usually how you play that matchup. You can even go for Silver Edge relatively okay on this hero, even if it's not the most common pickup anymore, because of the Echo Saber, still fine. And the only thing that sucks about this matchup is more that in the late game, Spectre just out-farms the Troll and wins. But if you're capable of taking a good early game and a good laning stage, then Troll can just, snowball out of control, really. I mean, the thing about Troll that's better than a lot of other high-tempo carries is that Troll also brings pushing power to the table, which is much more useful when it comes to, winning the game early.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. Of course, the Echo Saber change now makes it a little worse for Troll to now go for that. It's still a good farming item for him if he chooses to farm in melee mode, of course, when he starts hitting jungle creep, but it's not particularly as strong as an item for him just because he doesn't benefit from it if he's in range mode as much as he normally does. But the Silver Edge, of course, you can always decide to build.
Later in the game, anyway.
Later in the game, of course, just because it's still a good farming item. It's not going to be as good as the Battle Fury, of course, for him. But even the Battle Fury presents the same logistical challenges, right? You want to use it if you're melee mode only. So I think it's going to be a good intermediary item between going for this full farming build, that is the Battle Fury, and then going for a fighting build instead, which is, I don't know, maybe a Mask of Madness Armlet, or not Armlet on Troll, but you know what I mean.
Look, they're even banning mid laners because they assume the Ember Spirit's going to go 4. And it kind of looks like that right now. You really only have a quote-unquote stun in the ancient apparition. Besides that, you have a lot of roots, which is a problem because Snapfire will be able to get her ultimate fully, right? It's really easy to get that ultimate fully, and you're going to be annoying Spectre and Earth Spirit a bit, but Spectre also has Manta style to the spell. You kind of need some catch, and so if you put the Ember in the mid lane, you're going to lack that catch entirely. It'd be nice to maybe have something like even a Void Spirit as your mid laner. He's banned, actually. Kunkka's also banned, so the typical mids that carry stuns are not really available. They might want to consider... I just don't know how do you stop the Snapfire ultimate right now, because Quincy has a free Snapfire game. That's never nice to see. Because I don't know if like a Puck or a DK would be viable. Tiny. Yeah, Tiny's okay. You can still flex him, right, with the Ember Spirit, so you can go forward mid. He's okay.
The thing is, I mean, like, we do have a shocking lack of lockdown, I would say.
Only roots, right?
Yeah, only roots. The Cold Feet synergizes very nicely, I will say, with the roots that you have.
Yes.
So that, I don't want to say it's guaranteed. A Cold Feet is never really guaranteed. You can always outplay it or just move
It also
well.
can be dispelled.
And it can also be dispelled, very good point. But it's definitely very strong this game with all the partners he has for it, for the AA. So the Tiny last pick, some concern, but again, I think the strat here is just to go for some tempo. Underlord can be really strong early on. He tends to be, in my opinion, a little bit weaker into the mid to late game transition before he really gets his items, because his stacking, well, his stats are okay. They're just okay, but he's going to be food for Spectre if he doesn't have the proper items.
Exactly. And the Tiny is good against the IO particularly, but you already have a lot of counters for the IO to begin with. Like, it seems like IO Spectre was what they were concentrating on, and yes, you have a lot of things against IO Spectre, but Quincy has 3 more heroes, right? And you haven't really bothered to counter any of them.
They need to be careful for the IO Snapfire as well. That's a real threat. I mean, we've seen it before, I believe, in the Summit.
With a Snapfire core that goes mid, and then you go for the little shredder talents.
Yep, both of them, and then Wisp is also good. Once he gets to level 25 talent, it's very difficult to kill him. Although with the AA, you've dealt with it quite nicely, I will say.
Now you pick another hero that is not vulnerable to roots, which is the Pangolier, because he can... I'm assuming it's Pangolier off lane, I want to say. Probably Snapfire mid. Yep, there we go. Oh, no, Snapfire offlane, Pangolier mid. Okay. Regardless, it's still fine. Pango can easily go for Greaves either in the mid or the offlane position. These are what we're talking about, right? Unfortunately, the spells this game are so value for Quincy Crew because they really are lacking stuns. Avalanche is not good enough, right? You'll be able to cancel that Snapfire ultimate. That's pretty much it. You won't be able to really lock down anyone. And
yeah, that's... speaking of lockdown, we don't have, like, the Winter's Curse, or we don't have really anything to stop the Pango from rolling around. No, I was just referring to just the Pangolier.
All right, if he Rolling Thunder's in, yeah, he's free.
You have
he's
nothing.
Free.
You have
That's
nothing
true.
against that. You have nothing against the Snapfire to really stop her too quickly. I mean,
and Tiny's the 4 as well, which means that the support combo is really weak. For people that don't know, Toss breaks the Cold Feet.
It does.
So it's not really that useful to... Yeah, it's vertical displacement.
Vertical movement does count.
So it's not really that useful of a combo. The mid-Ember is kind of okay, I guess, but Pango's going to have a really easy time. Honestly, the draft is very much Quincy Crew favored here. I think that Infinity was too bogged down by trying to counter the Spectre and IO, and they ended up having a draft which has very little synergy and does not counter the rest of Quincy Crew's heroes.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to be a pretty hard game here, especially just because we have some really strong laners and good rotation ability out of Quincy Crew. I don't know how the Troll is really going to get the items he needs to take this one. But we'll see here as we're going to go to a short break before we throw it over to our casters. So stay tuned, guys, as the game is about to begin. Hello everyone, welcome. We are now live with game number 1 of our second and last series of the day. We had a reschedule, so Quincy Crew versus Infinity will be the second and final best of 2 of today.
Secret Strike and Ava Plus here on the call with you. Both kind of favoring here the Quincy Crew lineup, and yeah, it's going to be pretty difficult. Infinity, they can snowball real hard, but Quincy Crew can as well, and I think it's a bit easier for Quincy given the draft.
Yeah, I like the draft much more for Quincy as well. I think that the options for Infinity are kind of limited. You need to buy so
30
many items this game
seconds to
for
battle.
Infinity to just allow their game to even start. You need some lockdown. Like, honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing Hexes this game or something like that. You know, just you need extra lockdown. I would like to see an early Basher on Troll much before we even consider the Silver Edge. It's a tough game. It's a tough game. I'm questioning as well how, like, I think the Pango and the Sapphire are going to have so much impact this game, honestly. It's so easy to run this combo.
Yes.
And the only hero that can realistically cancel this is your 4. Like, that's pretty bad. The tiny Blink Dagger is going to come so late this game, which is something that I was concerned about. That's why I'd rather had a tiny mid. Because at least tiny mid can burst on IO relatively easily, and he can kill the Snap, or stop a Snapfire.
Stop the Snapfire. Yeah, Snapfire is pretty tanky. At least Mortimer is real tanky, right? So hard to really get a kill onto her just because of her base HP. And especially in the offlane position when she's going to have a Bracer or 2, Magic Wand, even a Bottle being queued up by Lelis, our Brazilian offlaner, who's really been making waves. Well, yeah, I would say he's still making waves, isn't he? Strong player.
Yeah, I think Lelis is an incredible player, so yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, this guy is a monster. I think he may be one of the best, if not the best offlaner in America right now, honestly.
Yeah. Yes. We'll see, right? Because now we've got New Blood. Zero's going to have a lot of hype with him over on the 4 Zoomers roster. He's been doing well so far, but respectfully, I don't know if Zoomers have really been quite put to the test yet, so we'll see, right?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. As you mentioned, Zoomers as well as... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would compare the two, because I think the Lelis comes with so much more competitive experience. It's almost kind of unfair as well to Zero.
That's what I mean, right? The story's still...
Yeah,
not-
the
not-
story is
that's not done.
completely untold. I mean, Lelis, until recently, was also kind of untold, right? It's not until really he stood in for beastcoast that people started being like, wow, this guy's really, really good. Mind you, he was always pretty decent before when he used to go by his old name of Picosa, was still really good, but didn't have the international recognition he got once he also played on Quincy.
Indeed. So here we're going to be seeing Alone going for the Flame Guard build here, most likely, as well as the Sleighted Fist. Some points, maybe a single point early in the Searing Change just to be able to actually lock someone down, because Tiny is not going to be able to close the gap here at all whatsoever early, because like you said, he's on the position 4, he's not going to have any mobility items. Probably until like 20, 22 minutes into the game we can expect to see that Blink Dagger. I feel like it's a decent timing for a position 4 Blink. We'll see. Tiny does have the benefit that he can kind of farm stacks and farm the jungle. Not very efficiently, because it costs him like his entire mana pool to do it, but few clarities on him, and he can usually farm quite nicely. Problem is you need the farm as well for Alone, as well as on the Troll, so they got to be careful with their farm distribution and fighting early. Like I said, like we've been saying actually, it's just difficult because you don't have a good lockdown.
Exactly. I mean, you have left lockdown, don't get you wrong. It's just the point that once the spells comes out this game, it's going to become very difficult for Infinity. So I think Quincy just play kind of defensive, unless they can get a kill on Naoji, like for example, top lane. No, Gold Snap stops him. Yeah, so the point we were making is more along the lines that once Montestal comes out on the Spectre, you might even get an early Lotus here on the Snapfire, because you can afford it, right? Garden Greaves for sure on Lelis, or even on the Pango. Maybe Yolcitar on the Pango. Once you get all the spells, it's going to be very difficult for Infinity to lock you down. And that's the bigger issue. The team fight early, I can see it for Infinity going well, but they need to make a lot happen in this early game. Either lanes are just okay. I mean, even Yawar is actually man-fighting the Underlord pretty respectfully, because Tiny can't do much in this lane. Your only kill potential. Look, Balki's completely forced out of the lane, because Tiny's instead looking for a kill against Squin. It is a good rotation by Rakiel, but Bangles is not the easiest hero to kill.
Yeah, there's a reason why he was one of the best offlaners when it was like tri-lane meta all the time, right? Because he is very, very survivable. Not only shields crash, of course, but Swashbuckle gets him quite easily away to safety very, very quickly, and it's very customizable. First vector-based or vector-targeted ability in the game. So it's once you get the hang of it, it's really, really powerful.
And then they were like, oh yeah, the wall.
The wall.
Darkseer wall is also vector now.
That makes sense.
That's a thing.
I do like that change, because while I like the intricacies in Dota, it's a buff as well. Because before it was Darkseer would just cast wall perpendicular to whichever direction he was facing, which, yes, I understand is maybe, add some mechanical intricacies to it. I think is an unnecessary sort of nerf to the hero. Because I don't think he was ever that amazing, right? That he was like, oh, we need to slow him down. I disagree with that. So I don't mind. I don't mind the change.
Nice little regen steal, actually. He's fighting against 2 supports, but it should be okay. Earth Spirit's quite tanky. He has boots as well early. I mean, Reikil is unfortunately just trying to make something happen because the support duo is not that greatest, right? His best option for a kill is in the middle lane, but the middle lane you have Pango, who's a really difficult kill. Top lane Snapfire is impossible, and you're not helping the Underlords rely on the Spectre to win this lane quite hard. I mean, Spectre is dominating this lane. Much to the chagrin of some of our chatters who was guaranteeing this Spectre's in a dumpster. Apparently not. Sorry, bro. Anyway, Yawar is going to have the easiest time of his life, and that means early Haunts as well, early Manta, which is going to be very relevant. And it's not even like Alone is having a good time either in the mid lane against the Pango. So.
Yeah, he nearly died there, actually. You needed to use the Fairy Fire. As Quinn is having a pretty fun game. Good old calm, cool, and collected that he is.
Yep. The only lane is doing kind of okay is the top lane. I say kind of okay because compared to the Spectre, they're still losing. At least they're beating the Snapfire here
Rakel's
somewhat.
dead.
But they're getting a lot of space to SPG to rotate, like getting this kill on Reikil, very important. MSS has been much more effective at rotating because he can guarantee the lane for Lelis to some degree, right? Get the early last hits, get some experience, allow Lelis not to die, and now proceeds to rotate. As opposed to the Tiny, who can't do anything in lane, so he has to leave immediately and does nothing when he leaves either.
Yeah,
So-
IO tethered with the Earth Spirit is actually not that bad because they really buffed Earth Spirit's agility game by a crap ton. I think by like 1.2 or something per level. So he's now got some decent agility. Before he was pretty weak, but now he's actually got some real. He packs quite the punch. He's going to be going mid lane. Nice rolling boulder, kick him right into the rolling thunder, into the pinball zone. Beautifully done there. Just a greatly executed gank there. Nice communication. That was amazing.
Yep, really well played. And you kill the Ember now here in the middle lane. Earth Spirit is 1 whole level, almost 2 whole levels above the Tiny now, which is why Reikil needs to go into the mid lane and kind of recover a bit. But this was expected though. The matchup with the Pango is just so much better against the Ember. Yes, Flame Guard theoretically does well against the Pango, but because Shield Swashbuckle is so much more damage, and you have the mobility anyway, you could just avoid the Flame Guard and attack from afar. Now they're going for the Rune. They have the Haste Rune available. Reikil. Oh!
Yeah, now MSS is protecting that. He would have kicked his ass away.
Yep. And now with the Haste Rune, they can actually play aggressive again if they want to. They have Rolling Thunder. No, 30 seconds for that. But yeah, lucky shot and just continue attacking him, honestly. Quinn, I don't know why he's so afraid. He could have just caught with the Haste Rune, but I guess there's no need to try to put pressure, right? The supports are not showing themselves, so clearly they're behind the Ember, so you play it defensively.
I kind of agree with you, though, because you have nothing to dispel it here, and you've got the bonus move speed as well on a Wisp, so you really have 2 heroes with the haste. I think you made a good point there, but hey, better safe than sorry, right? Cool, calm, and collected here on Quinn as the rolling boulder is going to miss, canceled very fortunately by the Avalanche. 3 heroes just here taking a lot of damage as Quinn now.
Rolling Thunder.
Go ahead and use that rolling thunder. Nothing really to bounce to. A good rolling thunder indeed, but it's not going to net him a kill here, unfortunately. They're just going to back off.
Right, exactly. It's just to get away. And here we see already the glaring weakness. No stuns means Rolling Thunder is pretty much a freebie. You have to root him to stop this, right? And you also have to be a bit close for that to happen. So it's a bit difficult to get that catch. Valky in the bottom lane. I don't know MSS is looking for this kill, but it's a bit difficult. Like, even if you win the lane against Underlord, he's still a very tanky hero. And even as the 1 point to Pit of Malice now is much more valuable because they buffed at level 1.
It might be possible just to keep harassing him, but it's not too effective unless you put a point into the Desolate, which you don't really want to do. It doesn't help you farm too much, so you need to max the Dispersion and the Dagger first if you want to really get your feet off the ground there. And kills onto the offlaner. Like I said, it's not that important. The Underlord is not a win condition this game, right? So it's not number 1 priority.
Haunt they use for now. G as the Battle Trance is forced to use it. They want to make him retreat, but he gets a lucky root. However, the Mortimer's Kiss is annoying. The Ancient Apparition might also kill Now G. The final kill smelts him, and Alone loses that Flame Guard. It's only level 2. Scatterblast takes it away from him as the rest of the team is now chasing after him. But they reconsider. Under a tier 1, Yawar very low HP. Better just keep farming and plays defensively. Maxing Searing Chains to try to get a bit more cash in your team because you know you need to get kills
interesting.
early. Yeah, it's the right. I think it's the right build this game, considering that you need to get these kills early. But unfortunately, it also makes you much more vulnerable to, say, Snapfire, for example.
Yeah, no, I think that makes a lot of sense. I thought for sure we were going to see a point or 2 early in there, but I almost thought for sure we would be maxing the Flame Guard. That's not the case here. That's not how Alone sees it. And we'll see how it plays out for him here as we continue on. He's starting to rotate early on, so I definitely see the efficacy of it here, at least the idea of it. So they're fighting top lane again.
Avalanche, yeah, they're going to kill Lelis. That's quick. Now with SVG as well dying.
4v1.
Yawar needs to TP himself
TPs?
away. Didn't have Searing Chains.
Wow.
Yeah, it's guaranteed. I mean, that was
TPing away in front of 4 heroes.
that was more the mistake by Quincy Crew, overstaying the welcome there, honestly, and underestimating the fact that Infinity does have a lot of kill potential early. In fact, that's what they want to play around, right? I would expect the Quincy Crew to play a bit more defensively early, just because they Just because Infinity, if they don't win the early, this game is going to be really difficult for them. So you don't have such a tall order. Middle lane, they go for the throw, rolling Boulder, they have rolling Thunder. No need for that.
He just
So
had
much
the ulti.
damage.
He just had the ulti as well. They might have been able to turn this, at least maybe save his life feasibly. But the ulti just coming off a cooldown right as he died. That last Boulder Smash just ending his life right as the cooldown ticked over to 0. Are they going again? They are. Kill. He gets rolling Boulder down. The Boulder Smash again to seal his fate. MSS. Double kill here for him in the mid lane. He's been involved in all 6 kills here, which is very telling of a good Earth Spirit player, just enabling kills. Nice job. And that also makes him very rich. He is, well, for a position 4, right? He's still way less farm than the offlaners, but doing pretty nicely. And in fact, speaking of offlaners, Lelis actually has now, is just about tit for tat, I should say, in terms of farm here for now G. At one point, it had some more farm, so a very, very, very strong start here for the Quincy crew.
Yes, indeed. With 3k difference, Apango also dominating leader of the net worth, but the Spectre are closely behind, and Yawar is going for the Blade Mail first. I'm assuming it's going to be Blade Mail Manta style this game.
Yep.
Honestly, pretty nice build against Troll, to be honest, because the Fervor, once you stack the Fervor, it really sucks if you change the target, right? If you try to kill the Spectre, the Blade Mail might deter you from killing her easily.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point, yeah.
And similar with the Ember, right? A lot of area damage. Anyone with area damage is good to get Blade Mail with. Similar with Underlord, right? If you have damage that you cannot control per se, like Tinies or Embers or Underlords, Blade Mail is always useful. Also, it helps you farm Ancients, so that's always a big deal for Spectre.
Yeah, it is a big deal. Now, the passive damage, of course, does stack with the Desolate, so rather the Dispersion. And yeah, it makes it really nice to play the hero. The creeps literally just melt as they hit you. It's very satisfying to play. Not only that, of course, Spectral Dagger now max really, really helps you farm. Especially in this period, it's important that you max Spectral Dagger between the 7.5 minute to 15 minute mark, because the neutral creeps, well, actually all the creeps in the game get upgraded every single 7.5 minutes. So if you can be maxed in those time periods, you're going to have a lot of success. As they are suffering from success top lane, the relocate is going to be much, much faster than the Underlord relocate, but it looks like Raykill was just standing here. They're going to relocate back. Actually, no, they're going to leave Yawar top.
Yeah, and SVG is going to go down bottom. Valky's trying to find him. Oh,
He's got a tether.
No! So scary. He's trying to bait out the bit of Malice. There we go. Bait it out so that Quinn can now go in with the Rolling Thunder. Mortimer's just even committed to this. There's the Rolling Boulder as well. They lose SPG, but they still get Valky and Raykill. This is, by the way, the power of this draft as well. Their incredible global presence.
Yep.
Really difficult to take skirmishes with like a numbers advantage, because you're never going to have them, honestly. Quincy crew will make sure to punish that. If they're fighting you like that, it's because they know they have the Haunt, or they relocate, or maybe even Earth Spirits or Pangalier's mobility to punish you. Alone loses that Arcane Rune, feels pretty bad about it. They consider the Rolling Thunder here. Alone has one more Remnant. Can they still catch him the Rolling Boulder? They go for the easier target, which is the Ancient Apparition. They're dividing their efforts right now. Not really sure if going for Prada or Alone. Rolling Thunder finally comes out. The target is Prada now, but seems a bit difficult for Quinn. Yawar keeping his distance. Here comes MSS. Too aggressive MSS. Gonna get punished. That cold feet completely unnecessary, but it's okay.
More damage.
They're gonna finish him off. It's only supports at least, but I don't. It's like these plays are completely necessary by Quincy crew, right? Like, yes, you're playing super aggressive and it's fine because you're winning the game, but you don't need to do this at all. You could just play chiller.
Yeah, pretty much. I think they were watching OG play. Oh, we want to be fighting too. That looks like fun, right? I mean, if you can, right? If your draft allows for it, why not? More space for the Spectre to farm. She's going to join the fun every single time she has Haunt, right? Relocate as well to facilitate these. But we do have a big item now up, and this is going to be really useful, right? Underlord with the Rod of Atos can really lock down a target quite effectively, basically guaranteeing that they get latched onto your Pit of Malice twice. A Pit of Malice into Rod of Atos, into another Pit of Malice, because it will eventually reroute. But unfortunately, the cookie out from Lelis is going to save his life. SVG nearby, but probably can't make any of this. A little stack to be stolen, however, here, or at least contested. Not the biggest deal, but why not? Steal some experience, lower the efficiency.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you are invading the enemy jungle, so they can't farm as reliably there. So the Spectre can farm the dead lane really easily. MSS finds Valky here. Mortimer's gets available. Valky is forced to use that ultimate. I think
Nice
it should be
juke.
enough. Yeah, good juke on the kisses.
Wow.
Nope. Level 1 ultimate just sucks.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrible. And they can continue to go for Alone. Again, he does only one Remnant. Oh, but he already has one Remnant already out.
Yeah, we got Ice
So he should be
Blast.
fine. And with the Ice Blast, they'll punish the Pango. No healing from the Io. Quinn is done. SVG couldn't relocate him in time. MSS trying to get some space for SVG as he body blocks as well. Another Rolling Boulder to make sure they can't get up to this Io. MSS might pay for this. Nope, he's fine. In fact, Yawar's even rotating in here. Do they want to go for alone? They have the help from the IO alone. As his name indicates, it's completely alone. He wastes the Remnant for the rune. That might not be the best of plays, but they missed the rolling boulder, so alone can get away. Valky setting up for the IO. Firestorm onto the IO. A toss as well, killing off SPG. And they're forced to retreat. This is what Infinity should be doing, by the way, playing aggressively early when they still have the advantage.
And they need to take advantage of these natural choke points on the map as well, because they do have amazing, okay, so correction. They need to fight wisely in these choke points because they can get absolutely wrecked by the pinball mechanic. Yawar is going to have to use the Haunt there to avoid the Ice Blast. Will it save his life? Yeah, probably. Yeah, it will. Because Rolling Thunder. Yeah, Rolling Thunder can really screw them in there as well, but they also have a lot of fantastic AoE damage to mention. Princess gonna get perma-rooted here. The Wisp nearby. Can they feed him a cookie? They can, but they don't really need to. He's just gonna be able to walk away now as Yawar. With the Blade Mail active, just running at 4 enemy heroes. This DD rune still has a few more seconds left as Quinn is now joining the fun. And he's gonna go hitting off the Rolling Boulder. Boulder Smash connecting down to 3 heroes. That efficiency there, giving the slow as well. As the root will connect there onto 2 heroes. Still alive is going to be Quinn as SVG once again make that MSS rather, taking a death to Valky. As, they're not going to be able to get anything else. Ooh, tried to snipe that one with Swashbuckle, but just missing. As he's going to be a bit too fast there on that Underlord.
And not even concerned for Infinity whatsoever this game. We're not seeing Greaves or Yules or any sort of dispel for neither Pango nor the Snapfire, because the lanes went so well for them, they're not really feel threatened. So they're just going for the traditional build of the Ags and the Snapfire to keep hitting aggressively, and the Pango's going to go for the Maelstrom into Blink Dagger. Okay, I mean, again, like the Greaves is always an option, or in this case the Pango probably Yosef or so, but if you don't need it right now, well, why bother?
I agree, but they should take note of now G's build. He's decided against Echo Saber, and he's going to instead here for just full farming here with the Battle Fury, which I don't disagree with. It's going to allow him here to get back ahead of Spectre in terms of farm, which definitely he should be here at this point of the game, ideally anyway, and allow him to farm his items a little bit faster. So if Infinity can kind of just keep throwing bodies in the way and not losing too many core heroes, they could actually have a lot of success here if this Troll Warlord continues to farm at a respectable pace, which it looks like he is. Prada has been caught, gets a little Ice Blast off, only onto 2, whatever. Might as well. Really short cooldown on that ultimate, relatively speaking, 40 seconds at each level, so it'll basically be up when he's up. And actually, they might just get a kill onto Quinn. Yeah, they will. Wow. All right.
All right, that was unnecessary death by Quinn. It should be Yawar who's farming that aggressively, not necessarily the Pangolier. And the Tiny is starting to show off, right? He has there's no Blink Dagger. He's been able to catch Quinn consistently.
He just walked up there.
Just thanks to the Pit of Malice, yeah? I mean, that's partially also the build for Valky. As opposed to going for the typical Aura Underlord, he opts for the Rod of Atos first, just to make sure that he also has the kill potential. Pretty smart, I would say. What is MSS doing? He's just summons a bounty and he leaves it there. It's like, guys, there's a bounty here.
Bounty.
Look at all this gold. Just all surrounding the bounty. Oh, they give it to SVG for his bottle.
Yeah.
Okay, I was wondering. I was like, why is he so proud? It's like, guys, look what I found!
I did it. Look what I made! It's like, you know, you don't have siblings. So it's like when your siblings are getting potty trained and they get really excited. Oh, look what I did! I made it! Okay,
I remember doing that with my grandma, yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Pangolier, Quinn already has himself the full Maelstrom, going next into the Blink Dagger.
Oh,
there's the Gobble Up. Yep.
Yeah, they have Rolling Boulder as well. They silence him, preventing the battle trance. The damage is high. Now G, though, is capable of using that ultimate. The cookie does not actually hit him. They force the Haunt as well. Rolling Thunder keeping it in place. With one last swashbuckle. Now G will die there, finally. And the Mortimer's cases start to come out. No way to cancel. They just deter the aggression from Infinity. As Yawar is looking for more kills, they only find the courier for now, silencing up Alone. Alone gets away last second, but Valky and Reiko will not be so lucky. And that's going to be 3 deaths in favor of Quincy Crew. And killing the enemy carry, super important.
That was one of the best magnetizers I've ever seen in my life. To be honest with you, how much damage did you do in that fight? Look at this. Earth Spear did 2,100 damage there. And yeah, magnetize is really strong, you know, but it did get nerfed actually in the most recent patch. Not the most recent patch, I don't know actually. But he did get nerfed. It used to be 50 damage per second, and they reduced that by quite a bit to 40 instead before reductions. And now, of course, the magnetize is real strong because while enemy heroes are magnetized, any debuff you put, whether it's the Boulder Smash Slow or the Magnetic Grip, is going to be applied. As nice silence there. This might be a kill onto MSS. No, okay. The silence is not going to last long enough, only at level 1. Just a value point there. So he just slows everyone down as they try to escape the kisses he forces, or they're all grouped together naturally. They just get punished. Poor Noji as well with the ultimate. Unfortunately, he just got Battle Trance onto a Spectre Illusion. Not only could he not really lifesteal off of that much because he didn't have much HP, but it still did so much damage to him because of dispersion. Just so unlucky.
Yep. And with a 7k lead now for Quincy Crew, how is Infinity gonna look into coming back into this game? You need the Blink Dagger on Titan to really get smoke ganks right now. Until then, I don't really think you have the killing potential, not gonna lie. Even with a pipe on Underlord, I don't think that's gonna matter. I mean, he has Clumsiness and Rod of Atos. He has literally the perfect one single... Yep. All you need is one Dispel here, or a Cookie, actually.
Yep, or a Cookie.
Yeah, the Clumsiness doesn't really work here. Quinn has the Rolling Thunder, needs to get up to the high ground to use it. They go for SVG. They even use that ultimate to try to get away before, they kill anyone else, but they lost Reikil in favor, and Prada might also fall. They don't actually see him because it's nighttime, so Prada will be able to just TP it back home.
Yep. Yawar TP's on over to mid lane, where now Gia is pushing in the meantime with his new Mithril Hammer, just rushing this BKB. But yeah, they're just gonna kill. They're gonna kill the Wisp, and then everyone just runs away, which is fine. I think that's gonna be one of the better kills you can get right now. You commit quite a bit for it, and your position 4 ends up dying for it, which is not fantastic, because Tiny really could use his Blink Dagger. But it's gonna be delayed a little bit more after he is gonna be the one left behind in exchange for the kill. Yawar now with the Aegis here, Blade Mail, Manta style, going next into the Scotty. Already has enough for one of the ultimate orbs. Courier on its way to the Secret Shop already. SVG full mechanism on bottle, so it's going to be just full heal Wisp for now. You can always transition into the damage build a little bit later. In fact, he's already taken the 10 talent for the 35 damage. As Valky. Okay, going on. Oh, locate in. Yeah, okay, Valky's super dead. Holy moly, they really want him dead, huh?
Yeah,
just to punish him.
His whole build is useless now that Manta is up on Spectre. Good luck trying to catch the Yawar now. He's even going for Scotty next, and if he gets Scotty around the same time as Troll gets his BKB, I mean, Troll will have a one fight with BKB while Spectre has no Scotty, and they have to make sure that's a team wipe essentially. Because once Spectre has Scotty, it's not going to be as easy anymore. Right? Just with the BKB, you're not going to cut it any longer. It's going to be too tanky with Spectre, and the slow is also going to annoy you, so they might even beat you. Especially because how Troll works, that if you hit him just once on while he's ranged, right? The Scotty debuff applies obviously as if he's ranged, which means that it's double the slow for both attack speed and movement speed, and that reapplies every time you hit him, even if he's changed to melee. So it'll reapply the same buff. Yeah, pretty annoying. So if you play correctly, what you do is you wait for him to turn range, you hit him once essentially there, and then you proceed to just reapply.
Oh, we have Blink. Cologne is going to get caught. No! MSS actually maybe preempting Quinn there by just a little bit, unfortunately. Is going to alert Alone, and he will go out on a Remnant away. He's going to be going for the Aghanim Scepter build, already committed, buying the point booster. Okay, we'll see how it works for him. DD Rune in his bottle for the next fight, perhaps, as Yawar just running at Prada here underneath the tier 2 tower. That's not going to save him. They need the Tiny here. Avatos is available, but the entire enemy team is pretty much here. Ice Blast did get out at the very least, as Yawar getting rooted down. The Haunts will come through. Away he goes as Valky nearby. Spectre with Aegis. Where did she go? Excuse me?
She's Aegis.
Oh, she died. Okay.
Yeah, she just died, but it's okay. Pango's here. Oh, they ruined the house. Not the best initiation by Pango. He has no Rolling Thunder anyway.
Yeah.
They cannot kill the Underworld in time. He'll at least get away. But they'll just take a tower and result, right?
Yeah.
They're not fighting this unless Infinity. Troll trying to guard this as best as possible.
Ice Blast.
He has BKB now. This might be the chance. No, the tower's gonna fall too swiftly.
I don't think so. I mean, it's tempting because you do have a DD rune now on Umber. They're going to fortify it, so at least they're willing to force the issue here. But I don't think it's in their benefit to chase, because the Rolling Thunder will be back up here in 2 more seconds. Gobble Up as well coming up, and we still have some good ultis, but they're willing to go for it here.
Yeah. Let's see. With the Rolling Thunder, for now Pango is safe. They catch the Ember. He does have the Yulza turn out to get away. MSS evades that Pit of Malice. That's your big sources of root. All gone, essentially. Without the Pit of Malice, you really can't fight. Rod of Atos, at least go for MSS. Maybe go for a simple kill on this hero. Has a bit too much mobility. A Snapfire keeping her distance. There's still Gobble Up available. The Troll messes up. They're going to punish easily. But careful, there's a second Pit of Malice. Now going for Yawar. He activates the Blade Builder himself. Nice cookie. Stuns 2 on the way. And even relocate to save his life.
That sucks.
MSS. He does earn, but gets killed off by a Sleight of Fist. Now they want to defend the IO.
Full HP.
Well, Spectre's back full HP, gobble up from a creep, and with a shield crash, they finish off alone and Ray kill. The Ayo is rooted though, unfortunately, so he can't get away. We don't have Rolling Thunder yet on Quinn.
Well, standing there threateningly, willing to use the cookies, or sorry,
Exactly.
the cobble up. There it goes.
The Mortimer's Kisses has been used, and the TP will not complete because Spectre deals way too much damage now. That was your first BKB used by a troll, and it was not the best team fight. You only killed 2 supports, and the cores still live, while Infinity has lost 2 other cores and 1 of their supports. By the way, another way to deal with roots is not just the Dispel, which Pango, by the way, is also buying 1 BKB, but also Force Staff, which is what Lelis has.
Force Staff is going to be good, as that did not feel good, however, for Now G, who not only uses his 10-second beat, but as well as the ultimate just to get nothing done, unfortunately. They are able to kite him out very, very easily. He was a bit far from the Spectre as well when he tried to go for it, so I was kind of surprised that he committed the ulti there, but I can kind of understand that they do feel a bit exasperated here. 22-12, they're down 10k already, 25 minutes into the game. They're going to smoke up, though, in their jungle, see what they can find. We do have the Underlord ulti available, so if they fight near a creep wave, they can take a fight. You can see, I think they're pinging it here, actually. No, that's SVG pinging it. Oh, my goodness, look at that scan. Beautifully scanned out from Quincy Crew. There's no wards or anything even watching that. They just knew. There you go. There's no one farming that bottom wave. They're probably smoked in our jungle. Boom. Map sense. Amazing.
Now G will take at least the tower mid, which is not that bad. At least you can, hopefully with this invade the enemy triangle. Yeah, stack for as much as you want, dude. Doesn't really matter. Sure, I don't know if stopping the enemy team from farming though is even relevant anymore. I think you should need to get kills because yeah, the enemy team is just like if you stop them from farming, they're gonna force a fight instead, and they're gonna win that fight, right? So
yeah,
you don't want to closing the enemy map is much more relevant when you have the upper hand, not when you're losing.
Yeah, I think maybe Troll shouldn't have been in that smoke, right? I know he wants to. He's got this BKB, but I just don't think he's got the damage or the stats here. Didn't go for the S1Y. He's going for the Abyssal instead.
Necessary this game, honestly, but even with the Abyssal, it might not be enough against Spectre. This is a good kill, though, against Midas. Let's realize a bit today. He still has the Force Staff, wants to go against the high ground.
Did he get the damage
well.
from his
Nice
blast?
mobility. And look at that. Yawar already going for Brother. Here comes Quinn. He rolls in, stops Brother from TPing away. They don't have a basher to stop Now G. But at least they'll destroy Raykill, and Brother should die as well.
Yeah, I was surprised Prada was alive. I was like, wait, he's alive? And Yawar's bodyguards end up killing him. Full eye at Scotty there, courtesy of our Brazilian casters. I believe Brazilian, right?
Yeah, they are Brazilian.
Okay.
Yes.
Wanted to make sure.
Basher X for Yawar, which is going to contest the Basher on the Troll. Hopefully. Because now Troll might have a slight upper hand just because of the Basher. I still doubt it, though. I still think they're missing the damage, but if you get some lucky bashes with a Troll, you might be able to control the Spectre if you just perma stunner now. You actually do have a stun now.
Oh, relocate coming in? Oh, no. Yeah, relocate coming in and Valky going out. At least he's going to try. No chance.
Oh, my goodness. It's too much, dude. Too much damage. And with the overcharge and the Manta style, it's impossible for him to get it. Yes, we get it. He has Pipe of Insight. Yes. Not Vanguard.
They're going to go for a counter fight here, though. Infinity? Oh, they see Yawar. Can they root him down? They can. Blade Mail comes out, though. This one's going to hurt Now G with the ultimate active. He's actually dying, though. He's not getting any lifesteal off this. Cold Feet will at least apply, but Now G stunned up. They have found the kill on Yawar. BKB active now by Now G. Quinn not going to be able to do much. Trying to kill him, though, looking for some procs at the lucky shot. Can't, though, because of his magic immune, but finally perfectly timing the shield crash there to get the kill. MSS, meanwhile, with his own BKB, soloing Prada as SVG now alive, looking for this kill onto Alone. Very hopeful TP, as that will complete the 5-man wipe. As Quincy Crew, they will lose Yawara, but pick up the entire enemy team in exchange.
Well, okay, I mean, that was not the best fight, I guess, because you lose Spectre. I think that was very haphazard how Quincy Crew proposed that. It was kind of a mistake, honestly. If they were not this far ahead, they would have lost that fight. But the Quinn being a secondary carry here helped a lot, right? We're seeing that Quinn alone can already beat the Troll, especially if he's low HP. Quinn alone can definitely beat the Ember. He just deals much more damage. So Quinn luckily saved that fight for them, but it's... Yeah, let's be a bit more careful, you are, right? With your initiations, there's no need for you to walk there alone without anybody kind of supporting you. And as I mentioned, the Basher is the one chance that they have to kind of man fight you, because now they actually have some lockdown against you.
Yeah, definitely. DD rune up for Quincy Crew. That could be potentially Roche. It's going to be like in 20 seconds. They don't seem to have too much interest in it. I think Quincy Crew just want to keep on fighting here. They know they're very, very strong. We now have Haunt. So we have Yawar just farming Ancients in the triangle camp, and the rest of the team looking for a fight, and they are going to find one.
There's the Avalanche. Nice with the gobble up, setting up for this kill.
Wow.
As Rolling Thunder hits, they want to prevent this BKB.
No,
The
they
mouse, though, stops them from going for Nao G, and he can activate his BKB in time. However, the Pango is still destroying them here, forcing Valky to use that ultimate to get away. And he should be able to double damage Pango. Unfortunately, it does not actually translate to more damage for Swashbuckler.
No, it doesn't, thankfully. Could you imagine?
Yeah,
that would be terrifying, because then that would imply that it was based off of his physical attack damage, and he would just build Divine Rapier, and he would die.
Yawar considering the kill against Alone. They go for Raykill first.
Good
Blade
toss.
Mail actually kills Raykill here, because he has the Avatos combo. Alone in trouble, they push him back. He does have 2 remnants, but they silenced him. No Yule Scepter either. And they will finish him off with a simple Swashbuckle.
This is painful. Wisp nearly turns invisible, by the way, because the particles work really strangely when you use Ghost Scepter, so a little bit of a buff for Wisp. It doesn't matter because they can still see your health bar, which is basically how I see heroes anyway, because there's just so many darn particles in Dota 2. Like, where's the hero? Is that the hero? Is he blade mailed? I can't tell. Is Spectre blade mail? Anyway, good fight there for Quincy Crew. Now they extend their lead to 18K. Prada, unfortunately, I mean, they can get kills onto the Spectre, but they just don't. They can't really. Like, they have the damage in terms of the number, but they just kill themselves. They don't have the HP pool to actually kill Spectre, which is why we were talking about how the break is going to be very, very good for them this game, as Roshan doesn't have the HP pool either to fight the Spectre. Will go down. Yawar now Aegis cheese onto SVG. And they're going to be looking to go high ground here with really, really good high ground siege. I mean, you've got Gobble Up, Earth Spirit, Haunt, Quincy. I mean, basically all of them don't care about your high ground at all.
It just seems like Infinity is out of options because of their draft partially, right? They had to win the early game to be able to accomplish that, but their lanes weren't that strong either. So I was questioning where their point of inflection was coming from. Yeah, your Troll's very farm, but we did mention this last time. Like, it's just the Spectre's much stronger. The Troll's now starting to build a Silver Edge because this is the only real option you have against the Spectre.
Yes, and they're actually going to find the Troll, speaking of him, in the trees. He needs to BKB TP out. That's going to be his 6-second BKB. Yawar's going to pop the Haunts. Okay. Yeah, okay. I understand.
Not a bad idea, honestly, especially because Io was nearby. Yawar instead's like, hey, sure, I'll kill Valky. I'll kill whatever you can put in front of me. I don't care, dude. Valky will die.
Toss.
Nice toss, though, to save his life. Raykill instead will sacrifice himself for this, but worth
Quinn,
it.
still going.
However, Quinn is having none of this. He rolling thunders right into the high ground, and they murder poor Prada with it.
Yeah, like normally in a situation like this, I would, if we ignore the left hand of the screen, I would say, okay, well, Infinity, they've got really good high ground defense. You know, you got a lot of AoE abilities, Pit of Malice, AA, a Tiny, right? You can kind of just hold them at the choke points. But again, Quinn, they don't care for choke points. They can just walk up your terrain no matter what. So I kind of agree with you. I don't really know, apart from really poor positioning or Quincy Corrupt playing themselves, I don't know how Infinity can really try and turtle here. I think they need to look for a fight outside of their base.
Yeah, they do. They need to regain some map control by trying to take advantage of the Pit of Mouse, trying to fight in the triangle. But of course, Quincy also knows that's the only option they really have, which is why they're guarding the triangle so heavily. That's a nice ward, though, that Infinity has. They might be able to play around this ward, and it's taking too long to be dewarded. There's Ward of Athos trying to catch the Pango. Now the ward is very obvious. Pango goes back in. Mortimer's Kisses. Now G can activate the BKB in time, but it's only a defensive BKB as they murder his offlaner, Yawar. Doesn't even care about Now G. He's completely ignoring him. He's forced to use the battle trance as the Mangas were just going to take him down. Now G might finish off the Pangolier, but a beautiful usage there of the Gobble Up saves his life and allows the Pango to just roll in with the Rolling Thunder. And perhaps, what is he going to kill? No, apparently going for the Ember, misses completely.
No,
They should have just gone for the easy kill, but Tiny, the Boulder Smash prevents him from being saved by the Underlord.
No, I think they drag his lifeless corpse into the car, unfortunately, there, and they brought him home. I think they just had the damage in time. Nice Boulder Smash, though. That was just cruel. And, yeah, the game is hard. I mean, Yawar just completely ignores the entire enemy team, just runs straight for the AA. He knows that's a really big kill threat to him. And, basically enabling the kill onto Yawar. We now have an Axe, by the way, already on Earth Spirit, so he's going to be kicking himself around the map. And, again, Yawar is way too strong right now. I'm surprised he doesn't just... they still have 2 minutes left of Aegis, so there's really no need to just lose it for free. Although you do have your entire team here and can continue sieging.
Yeah, why not lose it for free, dude, honestly? You can just if you can keep putting aggression here, you have the Haunts
there's
as
MSS.
well.
Big old stone being kicked back.
Yep. Uber Eats? Has anyone ordered a big Underlord?
Yep. And there's the fortify into the high ground to buy them a little bit of time for the troll to respawn. He will have buyback at the very least, but his BKB already down to 5 seconds. His ulti is going to be back up as well. I mean, there's a chance. There's always a chance in Dota 2, right? However slim it may be. We shall see. Reiko with the blink. He's going to initiate. Nice toss there onto the Spectre. Of course, you are still with the Aghanim, or so rather with the Aegis as they have now killed the Prada yet again. A first hit bash right there. We will have the Naoji at least popping the ultimate, but oh my goodness, the gobble up to save him as well. Spinning him right back out to kill the enraged troll into the fountain as well for Yawar. The GG's already been called. Look at him go. My goodness, Yawar. Mercy. Have mercy. You wanted the rampage, Avo.
Not really much of a chance for Infinity. I mean, it's hard to gauge how they played because I honestly think they got such a huge outdraft. The full root draft, the troll, you lost your mind to the Spectre. Like I mentioned, it's exactly what we said in the draft. Like if we can predict what happened in the draft, I think it's pretty obvious that it was all due to that, right? The Pango and the Snapfire popped off because you had nothing to stop him completely, even the Earth Spirit to some degree. Yes, you at least annoyed the Spectre in the beginning in the IO somewhat, but even that wasn't too successful because the Tiny was such a weak laner. Infinity just need to chalk this up. Just need to chalk this up to a draft and go like, all right, that draft sucked. We just need to do better next game. That's it.
Just GG go next. That's all it is.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, MSS, I mean, not to mention Quincy Crew, of course, just having a pretty good performance all around, right? Lelos, as always. MSS really facilitating kills. Once again, 32 kill participation, 32 kills he was participated in of the 44, right? And of course, Yawar was just haunting and killing people around the map, so it's literally impossible for him to be there for every single one of them. Same thing with SVG. So just very well played for Quincy Crew all around. Good draft and good execution, and they'll take game number 1. Do stick around, guys. You are watching the Realms Collide 2 Dark Light with Avo Plus and Seek and Strike. We're going to be going to a short break, and when we return, game number 2 and our final game of the day between Quincy Crew and Infinity Esports. We'll see you then.
Hello and welcome back to the Voice of the Realm. We're here, usually the radio show, casting Realms Collide to the Burning Darkness. My name is Alvaro Sanchez, your Richard Garcia. Today, though, as we've been doing until now, we apologize if you've been following us the whole broadcast, because I know this is going to get tiresome, but it's important to mention it. It's a special day. There's a reason why we don't have the usual live sign, and we have a Viva Peru instead. It's not just because I'm a biased caster. It's also because something important is happening in Peru right now, so we have a little message to our Spanish viewers who happen to still be watching us right now. And then my partner Seek and Strike will translate this. Chicos, actualmente si estáis aquí es porque no hay un cast en español, o en castellano, perdón. Seguramente es por eso. Si os gusta ver el cast en inglés, pues felicidades, pero la razón por la cual no hay un cast en castellano oficial es porque los de 4D han decidido nombrar este día un día de luto, como un acto simbólico para defender la democracia y la justicia del país de Perú. Actualmente hay mucha gente en la calle peleando por esa misma democracia y justicia, y 4D le ha pedido a sus espectadores que se unan a esta lucha. Si tú eres de Perú, sea donde vengas, te recomendamos que hagas lo mismo, sea unirte a las marchas, sea hablar con tus congresistas o sencillamente informarte de lo que está ocurriendo. Te recomendamos que estés al tanto de lo que está ocurriendo en tu país, porque ya hay unos cuantos fallecidos de las protestas mismas y es importante que hablemos con la población para que esté al tanto de lo que está ocurriendo. Nosotros hemos decidido hacer el cast igualmente para internacionalizar un poco el proceso, pero igualmente respetamos la decisión de 4D y nos mantenemos en solidaridad con su decisión de no castear estas partidas, con mucho respeto. Cuando digo nos, me refiero a yo y mi compañero de cast, no a la compañía entera, ya que somos dos individuos que han decidido hacer este comunicado.
Yes, indeed. And now in English, for those of you that don't speak Spanish, or for those of you Americans that speak Spanish, but only at a high school level and can't keep up with Alvaro. We are casting this tournament, Realms Collide 2, organized by 4D. Now, you may notice our chat is overwhelmingly in Spanish, and that is because... Or Russian. Today it's Spanish, though, as 4D, the Peruvian company, is deciding that today they are not going to stream in solidarity with the Peruvian people who are out in force in the streets protesting for their democratic rights. And we as in Alvaro and myself, the two casters here in front of you, stand in solidarity with 4D in their decision, as well as the Peruvian people, and wish them the best and hope that they are safe. We're still streaming the tournament today to raise more awareness of this issue, so we encourage that you get informed about what's going on, and if you are in Peru and somehow listening to this message in English, as well as go out and support the people. But with that message here, we do have a draft still, so let's go and switch on over and see what's going on here as we get underway with game number 2 between Infinity Esports and Quincy Crew.
Okay. Infinity, this game starts with a much, much better opener, I would say. Honestly, they're not. I guess because Quincy is not so threatening and Infinity has last pick. That should be mentioned. If you're up against a really, really good drafting team, which Quincy certainly is. I mean, honestly, even Thunder was talking to you about this. Like, it's scary to draft against Quincy because particularly MSS and SVG have so much experience. They literally see. It's like playing chess. Honestly, drafting is very similar to chess, and they literally have all these openings like memorized to heart, and they know exactly how to respond to them. So it's very difficult to draft against them, and especially when you don't have last pick, because then they have the advantage of the mid lane as well. Infinity now with last pick, they seem a bit more comfortable. Quincy Crew starts with a much weaker opener with Enchantress, or not necessarily weak, just versatile open with the Enchantress Clockwork, and Infinity respond accordingly with a Slardar, Snapfire, and then Invoker. Really nice flex pick on both the Snapfire and Slardar, as we know that Slardar cannot be played as 5, and Snapfire can be played anywhere, with the Invoker as well to add some more team fight to your draft. For now, I'm not really sure where Infinity is taking this, but they do seem to have the control of the draft. Quincy Crew has picked up the Storm, though, for now, which is going to be difficult to deal with. Luckily, this time Infinity does have stuns, though, to deal with Storm.
Yeah, and they've got still a few picks as well to dispatch of the Storm, right? We're still pretty early on in the draft. I generally don't like to see what is most likely going to be the support duo out from Quincy Crew in the first 2 picks. Especially,
I like the carry early too.
Yeah, they don't have last pick, so I understand the decision, and obviously these guys know what they're doing in the draft. But just because it's typically a little bit more efficient to pick a support, at least in the second phase, not as your last pick, of course, because if you need to counter a playstyle or a hero, it's much easier to do that with supports whose spells are generally much stronger, rather than pick a core who needs to buy an item to do it, right? Because then you kind of draft you draft yourself into a particular playstyle, which you don't want to have to do, because then the enemies can react to that, because they know you have to do that. So that's why I kind kind of they know what they're doing, but
I want to touch on this point though, because this is actually an important point right now. The reason, I mean, it's not like Quincy Crew has an idea in mind, of course,
Yes.
by doing this as he says, but the reason why this is also particularly important right now is that when the meta favors cores a lot, particularly right now, the meta favors the carry a lot. The carries that start to come out are carries that have very good carry to carry matchups because they're the both most important heroes.
wow, Beastmaster's still in the pool.
Yeah.
Surprising.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised by that. So, for example, like say if I have a carry that cannot be beat by any other carry, I am already nullifying your strongest pictures by picking that. So that's why these carries that can be like say beat by other carries, like for example, Arcworm's a good example, Terrible is a good example, right? They're beating more by mids or offlaners or supports. These heroes can be countered by other picks in your draft, right? A good example is Alchemist, for example. Alchemist gets countered by Ancient Apparition, not by whatever carry you want to pick. Even some carries are good against Alchemist, they're not going to counter him. And that's why a lot of teams right now, especially in the second pick, they pick up their offlaner relatively early and they leave one of the supports 4 or 5 as the third or fourth pick.
You also see some teams like Pepita's team,
Infamous.
Infamous. Okay, I just wanted
Picking offlaner last.
Picking offlaner last because of this specific reason, because they have a strong offlaner, they know they can counter the playstyle.
Yeah.
Just to succinctly wrap it up nicely in a bow, the cost to counter an alchemist using items, what you need, like an abyssal, a spirit vessel, and very strong playstyle to make sure he doesn't have a BKB by the time you're trying to apply these two. The cost to, I don't know what that cost is, it's a lot of money. It's like it's 10,000 gold or whatever.
Compared to Ancient Apparition.
Compared to just picking AA for free in the laning stage and getting level 6.
Exactly.
That's it.
Quincy Crew now picking out the Beastmaster. Quite smart, actually. Beastmaster is very much of an anti-carry offlaner. Most of the solo carries that are powerful, Sven, Lifestealer, these kind of heroes that just can win you the game, even PA, are very vulnerable to that single target from a roar. Quincy Crew is missing a bit of team fight per se, but because their draft is already looking to be slightly greedier, that doesn't really matter as much because you can just go with the 3 pick-off potential of the Beastmaster, Enchanters, and Clockwork. You have strong lanes, and let Storm farm. And then when Storm gets to the late game, it won't matter as much if you don't have the AoE stun of a Slardar because Storm will just make up for it with his mobility. So I like what Quincy Crew is taking this draft, but Infinity's looking much stronger.
I agree. Yeah, because you mentioned Beastmaster is one of these heroes that does usually win their lane, but so is the Slardar, right?
Yep.
Particularly against strong heroes like the Faceless Void.
Yep.
If not, maybe if it's a bad match for the Slardar, that's okay. Just do a little swapperoo. Snapfire will probably do it there, so it's a really
Nice
strong
CK
lane
band,
duo.
by the way. I wonder if they're thinking of Medusa maybe here, because against a Slardar, you really want to beat that lane.
There's a tombstone hitter. I was about to say we need a tombstone hitter though. Neither of these 4 heroes do it. Storm can just leave, I guess, but the rest of his team's gonna die, so it's not ideal.
Also, it's good lane against Slardar, so yeah, why
It's
not?
a good lane against Slardar. The Snapfire, we'll see. They might decide to maybe swap it up there. Snapfire, of course, the troll is kind of unique in this regard. He's, of course, Dota is just a rule upon exceptions upon exceptions upon exceptions, where the troll generally does pretty nicely in most lanes because he can always switch to ranged and kind of just distance himself while still carrying the benefit of being able to buy a Battle Fury and use it, and being able to buy a Silver Edge and use it, and all these other things.
Yep. We'll see what they do with the Snap, though, because Snap and Slardar is a very, very strong lane.
It is.
Has a lot of kill potential, but if you're up against... I mean, honestly, Quincy can either run the Enchanters there and protect your troll and allow him to farm, or run Clockwork as an interference, because Clockwork is really good at interfering. You might even want to try lane, honestly, because it's kind of viable here, considering your Beastmaster can kind of solo for the most part. Undying is not great at dealing with the boars. I kind of wonder what Infinity is going to go. PA seemed like a really good pickup here, honestly, so I'm glad that Quincy banned it. Anti-Mage? Okay. Kind of okay against Beastmaster because counterspell is great, obviously, to repel the Primal Roar. The only issue with Anti-Mage is that it's a very risky pick. It's good against Storm because you're just a walking bomb, but the Troll Warlord, if he just out-farms you, which tends to happen, let's be honest, because he naturally farms faster than Anti-Mage, he's going to lock you down and kill you out of the question. So... I like the draft for Infinity. I think they have a clear plan this time. I like it much more. They're actually going to run even the Slardar in the 4 position, which is great, because that lane the Slardar has is going to be difficult, so that way Snapfire will for sure get farm, and Slardar doesn't need to have farm anyway. He just needs a Blink Dagger. I would side with Infinity if it wasn't because I think Quincy is the better team overall. I think their execution is also still better, but I think Infinity actually did a really good draft. They recovered really nicely from last game.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think normally in this draft, AM does do quite well, but I think Quincy Crew are just super coordinated, right?
They are.
And that's something that AM's going to hate.
They're also particularly good at like snowballing from the early. That's what they always love doing.
Yeah.
So
and they got a hell of a draft to do that.
exactly.
I'm gonna be the contrarian and go for Infinity though. I think this draft is pretty darn good, to be honest with you. The troll is gonna have to focus a tombstone in a fight, lest it go to shit, and they just have a lot of ways to protect it and great counter initiation from Infinity. I think if they team fight correctly here, give some space to the AM, because as 4 they can do that. We might be able to see them take this game.
Well, we'll see. As we go a small break before we go into the game, right?
Yes, indeed. We're just going to go to a short break, guys. So stick around. Game number 2 coming up in just a second. Welcome back, everyone. We're now in game 2 here as we're getting underway. No traditional SA pauses here today for neither of our games, quite surprisingly, but both teams is ready to get into battle. And it's Quincy currently leading 1-0 in our best of 2 group stage here for the Realms Collide 2 tournaments. Avo here on the call with me, alone on the Invoker in the mid lane versus Quinn. A bit better matchup here. Quaswex Invoker generally very, very annoying. I don't generally tend to see Quaswex Zord Invoker these days. You transition more into it, of course, later to actually get some damage going, but we shall see. It's a really good earn game as well here for the lifesteal negation as well on the Troll Warlord ulti, but it should be a pretty good game overall.
I'm excited to watch this game, honestly. I'm hopeful for Infinity. I want to be wrong in this game. Like, honestly, I wish they would win this game. Not because I hate Quincy, of course, but because it'd be nice for Infinity to get a win against the top team in NA, right?
Yep. And there's Rayquil is going to get first blood. The Slaughter in the river tries to bash them all, or tries to get the crush on them all, but unfortunately cannot, as it's going to be MSS instead, just locking them down.
Yep, let's see. That was not a good start, obviously, killing the Slaughter. That's the worst way to start here, especially because I find that this game, one of Quincy's strengths does come from the laning stage a lot. They might be concerned the tri-lane, like I mentioned earlier. If you tri-lane, you secure the Troll's farm, and this is really a game where you can sack the Beastmaster. Who cares what this Beastmaster accomplishes in this game, honestly? As long as you have the Troll farm, this is one of the advantages of the Troll, right? He's really a one-man army. He can push, he can farm really easily, he has some nice lockdown, so... I'm going to rotate SVG. Oh, I like this. So Clockwork up top because he runs interference. He's very good at doing that and preventing them from killing the Troll. And then Chandra's down bottom because she's much better at hitting the Undying and annoying the End Mage.
She is. Generally, Undying kind of hates things like this, but it's a double-edged sword because sometimes he's like, ooh, boy, a nice squishy SVG. You have 540 max HP already level 1. 1 decay is going to reduce that already by, 4 strength by 20 by another 80 each decay stack. 480 HP. Once I get 2 levels in Soul Rip, you are food. So it goes both ways, right? So early on, SVG is going to do well here to just, again, do exactly this. Just hit him, walk away, hit him, walk away, kill his courier casually, no healing cell for you. But in a little bit, Prada event is, Empire Strikes Back. It'll be like the Hoth defense. Except this time, he's just going to park the frickin' Star Destroyer right in front of the shield generator instead of just sending a bunch of slow-moving walkers at it.
We'll see what happens in this top lane, because Iwar for now is a bit struggling, honestly. Snapfire and Slaughter are strong enough for lane, right? And this is the concern I had. Even if you put the clock here, which is pretty good at preventing them from killing the Troll, it's not good enough to secure the Troll's farm, unfortunately, right? At least until he gets a couple levels and Battery Assault is high enough to annoy Valky, so we'll see.
Indeed, Iwar getting healing salve as he's taking a bit of harass out from Valky. They are going to be running the Pistol 3 Snapfire, as you said. As here comes MSS to do a bit of damage. Iwar getting involved. As the 2-man crush should put them here into safety. Valky, though, taking a bit of damage. As again, there goes Prada already getting a kill into SVG. Just simple decay into plenty of damage. We have another scatter shot in a second here. Nice crush there. Might be able to get him out of harm's way. They're hoping for the kill onto MSS. It does look like he is actually decrepified, but he is not. That's just his Halloween costume. Iwar is going to force at least the Fairy Fire out. Healing salve now for Valky. Long fight up here, but I think finally they're going to settle for their own sides as Infinity try and farm the power cogs. Down bottom, again, it was just going to simply be, here goes Prada, even just killing himself. Needs to try and get it out of XP range of SVG, but SVG does well to make sure he's going to be able to get his level 2 off of that one.
Yeah, not bad. Prada did have to kill himself, though, because you want to make sure that this lane goes as well as possible for the anti-mage, right? There's no question about anti-mage recovering or whatever. You just need to make his lane go decently. And against Beastmaster, it's not impossible, but you don't have a hero to kill the boars really easily until you get multiple points in Soul Rip, and you can actually use it to kill the boars, right?
Yep.
So you have to be a bit careful here for now.
I mean, of course, you don't really mind having the boars around. It's more damage for your Soul Rip eventually. But
of course, most important thing is to make sure AM can farm here, right? You can get as many kills as you want onto the Enchantress. SVG is going to be like, man, that game sucked to play, but I did my job, right? SVG as well, make that Lelis, is just going to definitely be mostly used for the lockdown here. Probably just needs to get a Blink. Blink, roar onto Invoker, let the rest of your team win the fight. It's not quite like the Doom where all you need to buy is whatever you need to get the Doom off here, but they're going to know that Yawar is going to be able to do well this game. Quinn as well, if you can lock down the Invoker, is going to be just freely roaming around the fights, as much like he did last game, to be honest with you. So I think that's going to be the winning strategy here. Mid lane Quinn is doing quite nice, as we do have a gank coming now out from Raquel. No good level in the sprint, and instead they're going to try and turn now MSS onto the high ground. Will get bashed, however, before you can actually get the power cogs out, or even the battery assault. That'll leave a 1v1 top lane for now. Down bottom, we're still okay, but once again, SVG, actually no decay stacks here. Doing well to keep Prada at range. And Prada's, again, going to miss that one. But 12 strength stolen from our Beastmaster. Makes him a little easier to deal with, but still, Nauji does not want to really be sparring too much here while the boars are just right-clicking him down constantly.
Quinn is doing way too well in this lane, honestly. I know that Invoker has worse stats, especially across Wex than a Storm, right? But like you're beating him by almost doubling his last hit. The only thing is you're losing by one deny, right? Quinn is destroying this lane. And this is creating an imbalance in the game that Infinity wasn't really expecting to have to deal with. Because that lane should be a bit more even here. Bottom lane though, trying to catch Lelis. I think Lelis could die here. Out of mana though, so they like the damage. And Raquel's gonna go down here. Lelis just turns around, gets the kill. Prada still chasing after Lelis. They don't have enough mana for a Soul Rip, but he can just chase him down by walking.
Whoops.
That's the magic of Boots of Speed and the Wind Lace.
Yep. Just able to run him down, even if the boar is clicking him down with the poison. Valky all alone on top lane. Will at least get a cookie off, but pulled into the cogs now by our little clockwork. Rotating on over will be Raquel, however, needs to get a crush off. He's just going to be a little too late, unfortunately, as he was still respawning from the death down bottom. And they're going to be able to get a kill there onto Lelis. Mid lane, Quinn. Classic Jordan Invoker doing its thing. No tornado. Not enough mana for it, but a simple cold snap into EMP is going to burn the mana there. Alone. Okay, he's just going to take 2 tower hits here. Why not? He's got the Quas Orbs out anyway, so his HP regen is insane.
It's true that Invoker is not really a viable kill, right? But all you have to do is just make his lane kind of useless, right? Quinn is starting to leave the lane now, because I do think that Alone now has some kill potential here. Now he has enough levels, but Quinn sees the opportunity to go for Alone here, so does Raquel to help him. There's the help from the Tornado to save him for now. Not enough damage from that bash. The supports are going for Alone, while the other support's going for Quinn. Quinn's about to go down to the cold step Alone, and he will die there. But at the same time, he gets the experience from the kill on the enemy mid laner, and they still kill the other support. So it's still a win overall for Quincy.
Yeah, heavy price to be paid there for the kill onto the mid lane here, but an important one at least. We do, unfortunately, it would have been worth it had the Invoker been alive to at least get the Urn Charge. That didn't happen, so that means he's going to have to try it again here, request another gank for that all-important first 2 Urn Charges. From there, the Invoker can really start to get the ball rolling here with the combo. Everyone is really susceptible to it at this point in the game, as we can see it now down bottom here for Lelis. We'll see it in action. He's got literally no chance.
Lelis will fall down bottom relatively easy here, and that's the rotations I was kind of looking for. That's the advantage of the Quasmax Invoker over the Storm. Of course, he comes online much sooner, and he manages to get a kill on the enemy offlane. Already good start. He's going a little ganking squad with Prada. I don't know how effective it's going to be, though, because Quinn wants to also play this aggressively, and he's going to find Alone here in the middle lane. Alone is going to die.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, he's going to die.
Try charging I mean, you could have at least forced him to waste the dust, right? You go for the Ghost Walk, and you force at least the Enchanters to waste the dust.
Yeah, he didn't even invoke it.
Right? That's what I mean, you know? I mean, I get that you're going to die anyway, so you might as well, but, you know, there's no loss in using the Ghost Walk.
No, I agree. If anything, you just force him to use 70 gold. Or what is it, 70 gold now? 90? That's kind of expensive, isn't it? I used to know the price. It's 80, okay. It's 160 for a stack of 2 is what it used to be. Quinn, DD, rune active. Is going to scare Raquel. Doesn't want to really be too close there. As Valkyrie is getting constantly just forced away from the wave by Yawar. Well, as best as Yawar can feasibly do against a Snapfire, that is.
Yawar, of course, we were expecting this matchup to not be a cakewalk for Yawar, but honestly, any other carry would have lost this matchup anyway, right? So I think that Troll was probably the best option he had. Middle lane, they go for the Storm, nice Withering Crush to set up for the
is he?
Wait, never mind.
No.
An EMP barely took away mana. The Cabal lightning to his tower. There's no TPs yet to help Quinn though. The Clockwork is joining in. Nice slithering crush. They should set up for the kill as the bash is ready, and Quinn will fall. They even guarantee, or they even use the Doomstone to guarantee the kill.
Why not? Just to make sure, right? Now no one's definitely going to TP over, so they really need to get that tower for sure. They are going to try to defend bottom, though. Hadouken is going to scout 1 as Valky now rotates over and makes it 2 heroes here to defend the tier 2. 3 left then continuing to push mid lane as the Ench will now rotate on over along with MSS to try and get the Tombstone down. Alone, willing to try and fight him over it. And look, now G is now present. Oh, he's not going to get the Tombstone. Okay, he will. 125 gold in his pocket. Maybe not worth his life there, unfortunately, because it's actually a 4 times killing spree to now G, netting him 321 gold for the support Clockwork. Onto the AM, which is a bit scary. So we'll see, though. But a nice play there for Infinity overall. They're definitely just recognizing that they're stronger right now with the Tombstone still up and fighting around it. I think especially after game 1, a lot of people might have decided to you know, oh, well, they're a little, you know, broken morale, like we like to talk about. Very, very important in these matches, especially since Quincy Crew is, you know, one of the titans of NA, right? If you could, I mean, we could argue whether NA has titans or not, right? But assuming they're definitely one of the titans of NA right now, and against a relatively new roster, that's Infinity. So I like to see them here having the confidence to continue, stand their ground, and fight, and get kills.
They're going to take the tower mid now, and that's going to open up the map a lot. That's very important to mid tower. Then you can shorten the Troll's ability to farm, especially if Troll's going for Battle Fury. This tier 1 mid and tier 1 top are the most important ones. And if you take him all before minute 15 or before he gets his Battle Fury, that's going to be a very decreased effective Battle Fury. Also, now G for now is out farming the Troll, which really shouldn't be happening, right? Both your laning stage and your subsequent farming stage is much worse than Troll, who has whirling access to recover. So it's kind of a little win right now for Infinity, at least on the anti-mage side. However, the Invoker is so far behind the Storm that we again can have the problem where Quinn will become a really powerful secondary carry.
Yep, absolutely. Quincy Crew as well, they just read the map so beautifully. They have no vision of anyone in the bottom mid lane. They only see the AM farming top. They know that there's going to be a smoke somewhere on the map, so now they're going to be pushing mid lane. Infinity, though, coming from an awkward angle. There's not enough follow-up here for the Cold Snap to constantly lock down Quinn, however. We do have a Tombstone not dropping yet, but the kisses are dropping like they're hot, and they're hot indeed, aren't they, MSS? As he will now die alone, picking up the kill credits there. SVG and Lawless continuing to farm over here. Looks like they might consider to go in now if the AM blinks up here. Necrobook 1 still still up rather for Lawless, and he does have the Roar, so if anyone walks up there, they're just about dead, but no vision. So Infinity, they read the map quite nicely as well, and well, this is going to be an awkward angle for Rakewill. Yeah, there he goes. Now they're just going to go for it. Enough patience, they say, Quincy. We're going to kill this guy. We wasted enough time already.
Sure, I mean, I guess you get the kill on the starter. You even force him to waste a couple other fairy fires. Not too bad, but yeah, okay, sure. Like, it's still only a support that you got the kill on with the Beastmaster. I guess a rotation's a rotation at the end of the day, so maybe that's why. They're just trying to put pressure overall. Yawar's already starting to go into pushing mode as they're going to the tier 1 mid. They're joining him as their carry. Anti-mage continues to farm. They know this is when they're weakest, right? They even have Necros on the Beastmaster early, just to try to push as much as possible against the anti-mage.
Yeah, just try and cut down his map, right? Make it unsafe to farm in certain places, and the way you do that is by taking tower control.
Let's see what they go for. Necronomicon level 2 soon for Lelis. I like that they went for boots this game though, so you can rotate him more effectively. A lot of Beastmasters just keep the boots altogether to go for Necros, but I think this is the game where you need the boots, to be honest. Okay, Troll's catching up to the AM, but the AM is about to get his Battle Fury. And it's... Wait, really? Yeah, oh my goodness, he is about to get that.
He's got really good farm.
That's incredible.
He's got really good farm here this game. I mean, like I said, Infinity, they've been doing such a great job. Quincy, they know they kind of have to respond to this 4-man group that Infinity currently have going for them, but it's a really strong one. It's a really, really strong one here, especially because Snapfire is making progress towards that Aghanim Scepter, so it's only going to get even stronger here. Should be looking for that one. Let me just check our GPM. I finally figured out that, oh, we can estimate the time of the items by, you know, using the GPM track. Even though the GPM will increase the later the game goes. So still a few more minutes, maybe around 18, 19 minutes here. We're going to expect Valky to be having that Aghanim Scepter for the Gobble Up, which is going to be wonderfully here. Lelis running at the enemy team. Nice roar onto 2. Prada dropping the Tombstone. Kisses yet again, raining down. SVG doing some good damage here on the Rakewill. Look at the kill there as Lelis getting ran down by Prada. Quinn nearby, focusing the Tombstone. Solar to try try and keep it alive a little bit longer, and they have, but not quite long enough. As Prada then getting sucked into the vortex by Quinn, and MSS is going to battery assault him to death. Still not willing to. I like this. Patience for Infinity. They just lose the supports. They pick up a kill onto the offlaner. 125 gold and giving space to them. Absolutely. And now he's got Battle Fury.
Okay, TP.
We have hook shot. No.
No,
They didn't have
we
vision.
don't see him with Rocket Flare.
Yeah,
Rocket Flare just scouts this vision more or less, but he was right there. Yeah, as you see, those two circles don't intersect.
They
That
do
means
not
he's safe.
touch.
They do not touch.
They left room for Jesus.
Did they tell you that in your dances at school?
They do. Yeah. Well, that's
Oh
what my
my
parents
God.
would say. You know,
They told me that.
leave room for Jesus.
I was like, what do you mean?
Good ward here, by the way, out from Quincy Cruz, going to scout out the farming AM. Again, good reaction from Quincy. They know that they need to stop this AM from farming. They've got a 2K net worth lead, and honestly, their cores are much more farmed than the cores that are currently fighting them. But Infinity, they're not just like running straight into death. They're just poking and prodding and wasting their time, and it's really, really good to see. I would like them to see get this sentry ward, though. No one's actually walked into that pocket. But there's a kill onto Lelis. Sorry, make that Valkyrie, apologies, as he was trying to make better progress here on his Agnum Scepter. And instead is going to eat. Not even just a hook shot, just gets gone on there. Yoar does use the ulti there just to ensure the kill. Why not?
Yeah, why not, right? As you mentioned, getting a kill on Valkyrie relatively important here, as Valkyrie is part of the space creation team right now that Infinity is using. The AM timing on Battle Fury is a bit insane though, so it's kind of concerning, right? Because you can't really out-tempo him if you're going to be something on your own Battle Fury. Invoker, there's silence, kills him off. Nice Orchid timing though on Quinn.
Yeah.
Very good Orchid timing. Quinn is the saving grace for Quincy Cruz lineup. It's not like Troll is farming badly. He's actually going for the standard timing, but the timing for the AM Battle Fury is absolutely bonkers this game. He got trides in Battle Fury minute 12. That's insane. That's not normal.
Real quick, because it's the point is about to become irrelevant, but I think Infinity, they should look to fight immediately. Quinn, he is strong right now, but he's only still got level 1 ball lightning. He's about to get level 2 ball lightning. If you can keep fighting, force him to overextend. He doesn't have a single defensive item, and the ball lightning level 1 is extremely inefficient, as well as just doesn't do that much damage, and it's slow, so you might be able to force him to overextend, do less damage. Once he's level 2 ball lightning, it becomes a little bit more difficult for them here, because we're still strong on this Quaswex Invoker, to be honest. We're still quite strong. He's got another item coming to him now. It's just a mango, never mind.
Yeah, the level 2 ball lightning this game is particularly important as well, because when you have you only need 3 points in quas and an earn, and you will cancel completely that ball lightning level 1. Storm will not be able to jump. With level 2, you are now depending much more on ticks in the server. Even with the 4 points in quas, it might not always be enough. Like, Storms can get through that cold snap. Level 1 is literally impossible, right?
He's real close. He's real close. He's so close.
Once he gets level 3, it's impossible to stop him in the cold snap.
Yeah,
But
he's like, MSS, he's like, MSS, get the heck out of here. I need level 12.
Yeah,
Like,
very, very
I'm here to protect you. MSS is like, no, get out of here. All right, there's level 12. We were watching the Storm farm. Meanwhile, we missed a kill here on
You
SVG.
were watching the Storm farm.
I saw. Well, you saw your camera move over too.
Okay.
Check the tapes, folks.
Don't try to sell yourself.
Lelis is pushing really nicely down here bottom as well, constantly keeping the lane shoved. He's got Roar, level 2 Necro books now, but no support and no vision here on the enemy, so he's not going to be making that jump quite wisely. In fact, to scare him off, Raycole even puts the corrosive haste onto one of the boars. Valky, look at how cute this little guy is. My goodness, Mortimer is adorable. He is a biped.
Mortimer is one of my favorite models in the game. It's incredible though that when he has haste, apparently he runs faster on 2 legs, right? Which is
Yeah, right. It doesn't make much sense. Yeah, I agree. It's adorable.
It is very cute. Lelis has a primal roar, but
Nice
tornado EMP. I like that Alone is not hesitating either. Like he's like, no, they're coming for us. Tornado, we're just here to waste time for our AM, right?
Wow, Necrobook 3 already, by the way. So rip your vision. Very, very hard game now.
And
to
rip your towers as well. Honestly, it's gonna be very difficult to try to push.
Wait, what? Cold snap? Oh, okay.
On the enchant.
That's what you.
Yeah, it's fine. And she's cold. Look at her face anyway. She's pretty much golden. Gonna find the Slardar. Not too great for Raykill. Too easy a kill. Okay, that impetus works against him now. With a cost to push him back. The cookie does not help him either. 2 times did they help Slardar and just made up more damage for impetus. Not too great. Yawar can just push this tower now. Necros will deal with the creeps. That's the advantage of the Troll, of course, right? Yes, you're still going for the same build as AM, but your build is faster regardless because it's a hero. They catch now Prada, EMP, not really important. The Necros are dealing so much damage and so are the Boars, and Prada will end up dying here. But AM is still farming, at least.
Yeah, AM's still farming, and again, they only lose the 2 cores. The last kill on an Invoker was going to be the Orchid reveal. You always get one, right? You get one of those where, oh, the Earthshaker Echo, or sorry, the Earthshaker Blink reveal, right? The whatever, blah, 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 insert first killing item reveal. You always get one of those. We'll see if Quincy can convert it into more, however. As, again, they're only killing the supports, really. And AM is still farming. Arteezy is still farming, as we say. He's getting real closer. And the beautiful thing about him as well, continuing to farm, is that his team, they're kind of just, you know, holding high ground or holding objectives and slowing down the game. And they're not farming neutrals. Normally that's awful, but AM, he's just farming the neutrals for him. He's dropped actually all 3 of them so far.
They're giving him both the safe and the unsafe farm because they know AM can take both, right? And it's been very effective. That's why AM is farming out of control this game. That's okay for the dice here. Like, these kills are meant to happen. Mortimer's kids started to deter this, though.
Could turn it, yeah.
And maybe, yes, at least killing Lelis. This seems good. Great kill. Going for this kill. Lelis is going to end up burning
vision
up,
on the
and that's a
tombstone.
kill on the Beastmaster.
They can't see
the
the tombstone.
Though, very
Oh, there's
annoying.
the courier. Okay,
Yeah, the
courier.
courier to get vision. Actually, clever play by Quincy.
Yeah.
Just wasting so many wards on this is not a good idea. You lose Slaughter Undying, you take the Beastmaster, still a win for you as far as I'm concerned, honestly. And now you got the Aghanims on the Snapfire. Pretty on point with your prediction, around 90 minutes in.
Yep.
And we're going to get Montestal also completed now, G. His next item seems to be an E-Blade, which is actually pretty smart. Item that gives you the most agility in the game, and a way to deal with the Troll Warlord, and to some degree the Storm. Not too bad.
Right. But we had a request in the chat if we can boost your mic a little bit more, bump that level.
Yes,
Just a little
I
bit.
apologize. Thank you
you're
guys
good.
for the suggestion.
There's the gobble up. Oh, Rico doesn't have Blink, so he can't get in the pit here, unfortunately, to snipe that Aegis. And now he's probably going to pay for that one. Into the Cox. He goes, beautiful Tornado. Will catch 2. EMP as well. Going to take a lot of mana from Quinn. Quinn has no mana, no HP either, but he does have Aegis and an MSS standing in between him and the rest of Infinity. So he's got enough mana to TP home, and he'll be okay.
Okay, so Slardar's dead again. I mean, I'm pretty sure Slardar's died. Yeah, Slardar alone, you know, they say they're killing our C's. That they just mean they're killing our Slardar 8 times this game. But it's okay, because all these kills don't really matter because he's so low net worth and so low level that you don't really get any golden experience from it, or not that much golden experience from it, of course.
Yep.
And you're still giving AM space.
The crucial things are that the bulk of the deaths, 12 of the 18, in fact, so 2/3 are on both of position 4 and 5. While you haven't killed the AM once. Of course, killing the AM is like not going to end his game. It's not like he can only live once, YOLO. But he's, of course, that'll just slow down, especially deaths. Basically from here until the end of the game, severely reduce the chances of Infinity winning the game. Deaths onto Invoker as well here at this point do hurt. Invoker as well, without an earn charge, is a little bit impotent. So we're going to see if they can actually try and get a fight to go their way. Quinn with Aegis, now DD in the bottle, going next for the Bloodstone. He's going to be hoping to finish that one off and just increase his mana to a point where eventually there will be a point where he's going to get tornadoed, EMP'd, and he's going to go, okay, that's fine. That's like a third of my HP, or sorry, a third of my mana.
Well, it's still looking good for Quincy right now because they haven't really had to deal with the AM, right? So we're kind of at a stopping point where we don't really know how strong the AM will be when he starts to fight, right, against the Troll Warlord and the Storm. Because you're going to have to deal with 2 carries regardless. And Storm seems to go for a Bloodstone regardless this game. I don't know, this game you might want to prioritize the Lincolns, not going to lie. Like, I like the build overall with Bloodstone, but Lincolns or BKB to prevent Mana Void might be a necessity.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing as before, right? The no BKB sort of deal.
Yeah, it's risky.
Okay. No, Infinity, please. No, you're losing your freaking vision to a dominated creep. I can't believe that. SVG's got 2. Look at that, he's double on the map there. He's got 300 plus gold for just from that alone. DD are inactive now. They want the kill here. Prada has the Tombstone, Soul Rip as well, but nice Glimmer and Force to get your core out of harm's way. Again.
When is AM going to join, by the way? At what point is the point of inflection? Is it Basher? Is it Abyssal this game?
I think it's full Abyssal, to be honest. I mean, in AK, just because Troll has been keeping pace with you in farm.
Yeah,
and
shouldn't be though, but
that's the problem.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is though, at what point does Quincy just not take your high ground and you start crying, you know? Like, it's not looking too good for you right now. I like that I mean, he's still going for the Ghost Hunter, by the way, which slows down the Basher or Abyssal in general a bit more.
Yeah.
And I don't love the Ghost Scepter if you're not going to go for the E-Blade, not going to lie.
I will say, I mean, the good news this game for Infinity is that they can very realistically hold high ground a lot better. Yes, we still have really good high ground Pierce with the Clockwork. Oh, they're smoking. They're smoking out of the base. Alone Smoke has broken. Is it a bait?
Okay.
Oh, no, don't kill me. I'm just E-warding. I'm like a support.
Oh, no, I'm just a little invoker. Please don't cover me. My name's Alone. I'm alone.
Well, I'm alone, I promise. It's not a bait. But the good news is that, very importantly, the person that's got the most farm on the team, Yawar, cannot initiate as well as he did last game on the Spectre, right? So it's not just like instant high ground. This time, they actually can slow him down quite reasonably well. So it's not going to be just for free. They have ways of punishing the Storm Spirit, especially if Quinn does not build a defensive item, which he hasn't yet, and does not have one queued up. So we'll see, right? I really like Infinity's chances a lot better this game, because as you recall, last game I was kind of a bit of a Debbie Downer at this stage. I'm saying, oh, I don't really know how they get back in. They need to fight outside of their base, but that's hard because they're so far behind. Whereas this time, they can afford to turtle.
Well, the thing is, with an AM, you always have the fighting check, especially AM versus Storm. Like, this game is never going to be completely lost, but it's not looking too good, right? Because
No.
Like, this is how you're supposed to play against an AM, and they're playing it perfectly. You put pressure, you take away the objectives, you take away space to farm, you force them to farm in bad places, and now, ideally, you're going to force the high ground, right? You literally cannot play this game any better if you're Quincy Crew.
It's true. It's true. Quincy Crew, they've been on the opposite end of this, I'm sure, themselves, so they know how to play against it. Oh, no, AM's dead.
Oh, the Ghost is not going to help him. He did Orchid himself, but there the last second route by the Troll was really useful to guarantee the kill. Very well played, Quincy Crew. I mean, usually you don't try to catch the AM, but with a Storm, you do have the abilities. And this is one of the issues. Everyone always talks about Storm being weak to AM, because of course he's a living bomb, and it is true, but Storm also has a really easy time catching up to the AM.
It's true.
So it's all about who initiates on who.
A big problem there. I think AM normally doesn't push like that. He probably thought it was safe because he saw Quincy pushing top. He heard your bottom tier or your top tier 2 was under attack, and he's like, okay, they're going top, right? Probably checked the map, I'm sure, but just assumed that the rest of Quincy were behind him in vision. Instead, they were TPing into Fog because honestly, Beastmaster can just push alone at this point, but they're going to be fighting without AM now. Okay, onto Lullas they go. Kisses and the Gobble Up. They've dropped the Tombstone. The Roar will still come through, but it's onto Prada. Who cares? He is going to be doing his job anyway. Tombstone out. Quinn with a DD rune active, though, is blowing through these guys. And there's both supports, or sorry, make that Lullas down already. Quinn with the triple kill now will pick up the bounty from the Tombstone, and it's only going to be Prada left alive as Yawar starts really hitting their high ground now. Ooh, game is hard. Game is hard. Like I said, the 1 AM kill really reduces their chance to win the game.
Yep, and that makes it... I don't know. I'm just dubious about Infinity. Like, what else can I say about the draft? Like, you just need to wait for AM, right? But how long are you waiting?
Yeah.
Right? That's like what my dad told me. I swear to God, you're going to get handsome when you get older. I'm like, I'm still waiting, Dad.
Still waiting.
Where's my handsomeness, Dad? Anyway, genuinely, though. Like, for example, you and your beard, Richie.
Yeah, it'll
Still
grow eventually.
waiting.
One of these
It'll
days.
grow
Nah, I
eventually.
can't grow facial hair. It doesn't happen.
It's okay. You are handsome in my eyes.
Well, I think you need to get your eyes checked out then, that's what I would say. Slardar, though, he's got himself a Blink Dagger, which nets him an extra kill. They're going to go maybe just harass Yawar, maybe try and force his BKB, I assume, as he's still sitting on this 10-second BKB, which is pretty lethal to your team here at this stage. AM, you can see the dynamic has shifted. He's now needing to get these lanes pushed out again, as Quincy are doing a pretty darn good job of pushing them out, trying to force him into the Ice Wall. That's not going to happen. Tornado will pick him up. EMP to burn some of the mana. All right, not bad. Again, it's just slowing down the push.
Here comes the Meteor, which, as you mentioned, slowing the push slightly, but Quasma Blocker does not have too much damage on the Meteor. Okay, Prada going in, Slithering Crush. This might be the... No. We still have BKB on Yawar. Nice Tombstone, though. The Tombstone has been a really big deal here, just for saving them. Sunstrike, I think, for Vision there, because honestly, it doesn't deal any damage.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
I am. When are you going to fight, dude? When is it going to happen? It's looking closer and closer to my pups.
Dude.
Like, seriously.
It's not time yet. He's almost got his full Abyssal Blade. Let's let him chill. I mean, look at this guy's farming patterns, though.
Oh, it's
Quincy,
good. He's farming well. But like,
he is.
Your
but
tower's going to start to fall
just
now.
look at this. Oh my
Oh,
lord.
oh.
Oh my lord.
Oh, he's going to kill Quinn.
He's just a bit shy.
That Lotus Orb was smart as well, I said.
Shy. Oh no. No, G.
Oh no. Oh, that Ghost Scepter though, really useful. That was a really good idea actually, the Ghost Scepter. And now they counter initiate the Snowstorm. This is dangerous for Quincy Crew. Yawar activates his BKB on time. Mortimer's Kisses might end up killing MSS. Dispels the residual damage from Mortimer's Kisses. Reiki also dies to Lelis, and the Troll's going crazy against Alone, but everyone has Ghost Scepter. Yawar so frustrated. Might need to consider a Nullifier this game, honestly.
Yeah, indeed. Oh, now G's back. SVG. Oh, he probably wish he had Mana Void now. Unfortunately, does not, as he will blink forward aggressively. First hit bash there onto SVG. Prada has got Tombstone in 2, but we'll see. I think now G wants to go and farm. Buff me, buff me, buff me. Okay, I'm going to go now lose the buff and walk over here and farm ancients. Yeah, that was good. A good initiation there from our Slardar, who actually tries to wrap around and catch the Storm Spirit in case he's just idling and ready to go back in. That's going to force the Roar, which you heard. Lelis, meanwhile, just summons his little zoo and dispatches of the Slardar quite easily. But at least there's no Roar for the AM. There's no Roar on the Invoker then. So, again, support's just tanking spells, doing their job, and AM is almost ready to fight. You could see he's considering the idea.
He is considering it. Now it's just about matter. I mean, at this point, though, I think you might actually be better off waiting for the Abyssal and the E-Blade, honestly, if Quinseeker is not going to put pressure, because the E-Blade seems like a necessity in this game. I like the Ghost Hunter idea. I do wonder, though, how long it's going to take for Yawar or really anyone else to get a nullifier. Yeah, exactly. Because once you get that, the whole Ghost Hunter idea, which has been working nicely for now, is going to go to hell.
Yeah, I mean, for now, it's going to be first BKB for Quinn, which is going to be fantastic, isn't it? Abyssal first for Yawar, and the Vlads for our Lelis, as I think I do hear Infinity at least walking into Roche. Interesting. So they're venturing out of their base. They've been turtling in their high ground for quite a few minutes, probably since about minute 23 or so, but they have caught someone here. It's the AM, as Mantis Style there to get the silence away. No, they're still fighting though. My goodness, SVG, you madman. Just running in all alone.
Oh, what a hook shot.
3. The cock puts
Beautiful.
Prada is dead, so is Lelis now, and Quinn is just going to be sweeping up the remains, which is going to be alone. Slardar now will be located, pinned down. Quinn, my goodness, what a hook shot.
The problem now is that the anti-mage does not, like, he doesn't have a team right now, right? It's just anti-mage versus the world, and I think it's coming to the point where anti-mage no longer can beat the world, right? Because his team is so far behind. And yeah, that's why I was saying, if you don't fight earlier with an anti-mage, you're never going to be able to come back with your team. So now it really is just you versus them, and I don't know if that's going to work, honestly. Yawar pushes so quickly, they think, yeah, let's go for tier 4s. AM, do you want to come back from farming?
AM, your base, question mark?
Base? Your base? Yeah, no, G is, I mean, he's cutting the lane, he's doing what he can. Honestly, if he comes back, he's just going to die, but they're going to take his base if they don't do anything about it.
Oh,
hook shot. Oh, nice. That stops Invoker from going for the Tornado here. Tornado a bit later. Yawar has BKB in 10 seconds. They heat the Slardar, trying to go for a kill. Quinn, nice with the Mana Void. They guarantee the kill, but Yawar wants to fight this. The buyback immediately from the Slardar.
Watch the zip. Zip. Oh, he didn't go that far. Okay, right quill now getting a stun onto 2 as SVG continuing to pump it damage. He's out of mana though. As we have the full Abyssal finally completed on AM with that kill. But the base under attack. We still have that Fortified to look out for as well. Yawar really wants to end this game, but he's going to not back off. Abyssal and still a 9-second, make that 8-second BKB on him. As Quinn is back. Waiting for Tombstone, as we said, but there's the Abyssal Blade. Can they kill him again? Yes, he's just dead instantly, Avo. Rayquil as well, still alive. The Cookie to keep him up.
They wasted the BKB. That's huge. That actually might be a nice little turning point, as now G's strong enough to kill the Storm, and Storm just walking in like that, you can't really afford to do that.
The hook shot.
Also die. Hook shot misses. AM though, hit by the promo roar, nice Ghost Hunter saving his life, and the Troll can't get close to him, Midas will also die. Yawar now in trouble, the Spider Leg's not helping him out, now G going for the Beastmaster, but there's no Ghost Hunter this time, they need a Cookie, they stun him with a Slithering Crush, they stop Yawar, sacrificing the 2 supports, but AM will live. AM versus the world. His slaves are dying for him. It's working out for now. Now G's forced to retreat and finally go for the offlaner Valky. In trouble, the Cookie helping him out. And is going to kill him regardless. Yawar against now G. Can he tank this? The Bash is annoying him too much. But he gets a lucky Bash, which guarantees the kill. And Lelis should be able to push this alone. Or Alone might actually stop him here. Alone going for the Meteor play. Not going to work out. Solar Crest does too much damage. They step with the Gobble up though. Valky will unfortunately die back though for this. And Alone, he just wants to defend this. They have Necros in 40 seconds. I don't know how they do this. I don't know how they do this. He's just trying to distract them so they don't go for the Ancient. Alone uses the Cold Snap. Riders Undying comes back in. Invoker's also back thanks to the buyback. Lelis is just slowly trying to destroy this Ancient, but where's the help? Lelis needs his little Necro Boy so he can actually push faster. The Tombstone will fall to SVG. Now going for Prada. Slowing the push down is alone.
We still have
but
Fortify.
seriously, 40 seconds until the stupid AM. And Lelis with his
seconds.
4 is about to take this Ancient down. There's the hook shot though. The help from him says he's the angel falling from the sky. That's going to guarantee the game for Quincy
you
Crew. Even Storm joins. The Fortify is not going to be useful. The catapults will hit and the GG will finally come from
Wow.
Infinity.
Wow. That was a fun ending for sure. Unfortunately, AM, I mean, he had to buy out there, right? Obviously, but just doesn't have enough for buyback, and that's the game right there, essentially. Oh, goodness. What a fun one. What a fun ending to that one. I mean, a slow burn, right? But we eventually got there, and then one heck of a high ground hold. shout out to Alone, who has no spells, just offering the high five right there in the middle of the high ground hold, or the base hold. But die back onto Quinn, but he's just back in there a few seconds later as if nothing happened. 1v1ing and just manning up and fighting the troll. A bit of a sketchy idea, especially once he's got that basher up, because he's just always going to be attacking much faster than you. But now she couldn't really pull out of that fight. That was now or never, and unfortunately it's going to be never for Infinity Esports, as they will end up losing 0-2 to Quincy Crew.
Well, with this, guys, I think that is our games for today. It was an odd day today, certainly. I hope that a lot of you have learned something from today's stream, as due to our communications, and mainly due to 4D's actions. Kudos to them. Great organizer for this tournament. And it's nice at least to know that we can kind of forget the world around us for a couple hours just to watch some nice Dota. Because yes, Quincy Crew might have stomped a bit Infinity, but this second match was quite exciting. So that last little base defense, I really enjoyed it.
Indeed, and hopefully you guys enjoyed as well. Make sure you are following us on the channel to make sure you guys are notified when we go live for tomorrow, because we've got 3 more best of 2s, Omega versus Unknown, Infamous versus For Fun, and the Zoomers versus Quincy Crew. So we finally get an NA versus NA matchup, and probably one of the most anticipated here of the group stage overall. So make sure you guys are watching then. For now, on behalf of Alvaro and myself, stay safe. Have a wonderful Sunday night. We'll see you tomorrow for some more Realms Collide 2 Dark Light.